Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 3 of the 4th anniversary 100th episode extravaganza thing that I've been up to so much. It has been a little bit of a while since we've been here, and I am back with a nice, thick episode featuring 3 great segments and 6 incredible guests. So I am very, very happy to be back, to be coming out here. We are not done with this project because I'm having so much fun doing it that I will do 100th episodes until the end of the year. It's just so much fun. I'm having a blast. So we're going to say a very hello to a first time guest in one of our segments, and that is going to be my very important producer and editor. And on top of that, he will be joined by episodes 88 and 42, should have switched those, guest David Igo of Monsters fame and a million other things. And they are going to talk and hang out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll make a lot more sense once you listen to the segment. Also, I'm going to be joined by, and all's like these segments are so much fun. I love them so much. We are going to be joined by comedian Joey Bragg from episode 91 and comics legend Phil Jimenez from episode 4. So that is a massive difference in episodes. Phil is also an Eisner nominee for Best Short Story for his DC Pride 2024 contribution, Faces. Now, on top of that, we are going to be joined by a comedy team. We have episode 55's Emily Winter and episode 87's Chris Calogero. And they are both comedians, writers, actors, and more importantly, husband and wife. How exciting is that? It is such a wonderful moment. So please enjoy this episode, and we will be back sooner than you realize with the next installment. See you soon. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another glorious segment of the Jeff Has Cool Friends Anniversary Show. We are back here, and I am very excited. The average of these two guests is 1 episode apiece. Because I am introducing first from episodes 42 and the split episode 88 with the amazing Eric Barnes, the incredible, immensely talented, very personable king of the Comic-Con conversation, David Igo. Dave, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. And you couldn't hear me nodding in agreement with everything you're just saying. I'm like, this is true. This is true. But
you got beads in your hair so we can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my second guest is a first-time guest, which is not something I'd ever have on, except this person has listened to every single episode of this show before they were ever released. Ladies and gentlemen, super producer Sam is here.
Hello. Hi.
There it is.
Hi, everybody.
So dynamic, Sam.
Just take the energy and bring it right back down.
I was so excited because, like, when I was going through this, you're actually one of the first people I thought of to have on, Sam, super producer Sam, to be like, hey, well, you've been such an important part of this show, and yet you've never really been on the show. But I appreciate you so much. And I was like, who do you want to do this episode with? And you're like, I love that Dave Igo guy. And the other person I like, Tim McCouga, I don't want to talk to that guy. I don't actually like him. I think he's a piece of trash.
No.
No, you
You chose me, Sam. You chose correct. If like this is the last crusade, you have chosen the correct cup to drink out of.
Good.
You know?
I'm glad.
Nice. You've all worked together before. You've been around each other. You know each other. So this is
the first time I've met Sam. That's why I was like, why you have me on with a complete stranger? You know, it's weird.
It's so funny. We have added a audio filter onto super producer Sam to make him sound just like a person that we used to work with, which is very helpful. So, and super producer Sam, thank you for allowing us to modify your voice to match
No
this.
problem.
So, like, this is going to be interesting. I've been trying to figure out for the past couple of days how to balance something like this, because part of this is me saying, what have you been up to? Which is like an easy thing for me to ask Dave, right? Dave, what have you been up to? And we could talk all about that with like Kaiju Doom and all the incredible stuff with Monsters and other projects that you're working on. And Sam, super producer Sam, what have you been up to? I mean, you get to answer that however you want, and we wouldn't know what to check you. You could say literally anything you want. Super producer Sam, what have you been up to?
Mainly fatherhood.
Wow, that's a weird thing to make up.
On purpose or by accident? Was this like like
On
thrown
purpose.
into your lap, or is this like, a
No.
planned fatherhood?
No, it was thrown in my wife's lap mostly, but no, it was on purpose. Like my wife and I, we wanted a kid, so here I
That's
am with
awesome.
fatherhood, and it's just been very interesting. Been a major learning experience at every single turn. When people tell you like, "Oh man, your life is going to change like way more than you realize," you kind of laugh at it at first, like, "Haha, I bet not." And then you get into the trenches of it, and it's like, "Oh wow, yeah, no."
How
it
could you
changes
ever
things a
not
lot.
believe that?
Well, because you kind of like reason with yourself. It's like, well, if I carve out such and such amount of time, or if I do this and try to get ahead of this, like maybe I can make it work, to where it's like, oh, my life won't change that much. But then you get into the thick of it, and it's like, no, all of what I thought, completely wrong. Like,
You have a needy wild animal in your house.
Yeah.
mhm.
Sam,
Like-
I don't know you. This is the first time we've met. I now love you, but I also think you're an idiot for thinking that would never change your life. Because
Well, I didn't think
now
it
I
would
judge you. Now I judge you for how
We
dumb
are all judging you in the comments. Look at read the comments right now.
Oh,
They are all judging you.
comments are crazy.
Yeah, they're tearing me apart. Rip.
Michelangelo 85 really hates you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who would have? I mean, it's wild. Because here's the thing: is like, I always feel like parenthood is a metamorphosis, right? Because like you literally have to become like the caterpillar becomes a butterfly. It still maintains the like caterpillarness. I don't know. I didn't have Susan Finkbeiner on this one to really explain the metamorphosis process, right? But
Mhm.
like, there's this thing of like, yeah, your core is going to be there, but like by definition, you have to be incredibly different as an American parent.
Yes, for sure.
If
Yeah.
you were like a Southeast
We're the
Asian
best
parent, you'd be
parents.
like, the kid's got to learn to adapt, which I always found really interesting. Where it's like, whenever you'd see like Westerners and like, I remember hearing these great stories where it'd be like parents riding, bikes with their toddler or their infant sleeping, and people are like, "Oh, be quiet." And he's like, "No, the baby will adjust. Like, babies will fall asleep."
Mhm.
you know?
Eventually, they will
At some
always
point.
fall asleep.
Now you have a toddler at this point, right? It
Yeah,
just turned one.
Just turned one.
It just
He
turned
did.
one.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did. He I got him a present.
Mm-hmm.
It was a squishmallow.
A squishmallow of Stitch, and
Stitch.
he loves that thing.
You don't
Like,
have to. You don't have to lie.
I am not lying. He like anytime he has it, he hugs it and he pats it like he's trying to put it to sleep. And yeah, so,
You know what? When I was searching for gifts, I was because like buying a birthday present for a toddler it's really just like a gamble if you're being like, I'm kind of throwing my money away unless I get the one gift that the kid really likes.
mm-hmm.
Like that kind of, because it's like a toddler, like he's not going to remember
Mm-hmm.
the gift. Like that's not how they work. That's not
Well,
how
it
I
becomes
don't
like
remember
their
anything.
lifelong teddy bear from their childhood or
Yeah.
something. Their lifelong squishmallow of Stitch.
Yeah, but I was like, man, if that hits, then I've screwed them over because now they have to buy like 15 copies of that Stitch mallow and put them in an attic for when one of them goes flying, you have to pull the new one out. Did
Yeah.
somebody warn you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also too, it's like, oh yeah, he has more fun with like the trash and the packaging for like the first 5 minutes, and then he just goes through phases of like, I like these toys, now I like these toys, now I like these toys, and then he'll like backtrack back and forth. It's all over the place. But
sounds like my dog. Yeah,
Yes.
same thing. Get them a one stuffed animal they like, and then they go to the next one. They like the packaging. It's like you should have just gotten a dog. They're a lot cheaper.
I mean, I used to foster dogs, and it's interesting how close raising a kid is like raising a foster dog. At least raising a baby is like raising a dog. But not saying my kid's a
No,
dog.
because it's like dogs are harder.
Yeah, dogs are a little bit
Dogs are harder.
because they're consistently dumb, constantly.
Yeah. And a dog's not going to blame you for all of its problems in 25 years.
Or write a book about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dog's not going to write it. That dog will be dead in 25 years. You don't have to worry about that dog. That dog will be gone. At best, its ashes will be in like a ring.
So you're making all the arguments why a dog is better than a child. You're like, dogs are harder. They don't live as long as a 18-year commitment. I'm like, that sounds easier.
Yeah, I just think it's really funny when people compare pets to kids, and like parents of children get so offended. You know, like they think you're like, it's basically like I have a cat, so it's basically like a baby, and people are like, how dare you say that?
Yeah.
I'm always like, how about shut up? Nobody
Yep.
cares. Nobody cares.
I know there's so much other things to care about. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question that just came up to me, and I was wondering, do you guys know what your first, like, what's your first memory?
Go Sam.
Me. So the one that immediately comes to mind is meeting my grandfather for the first time. I might have been like 3 years old.
Yeah.
And we were living in I think Riverside. And he came over. My grandfather was very tall. He was like 6'7". And he had like very gray hair, and he was just this man was towering over me. And I just remember having to crane my neck up just to look up at him. And that's probably like one of my earliest memories. I don't know if it was my first, but that's the first one that came to mind.
Is he still with us, or is he gone?
No, he passed away in, I want to say 97. He had
Why did you kill him?
I didn't. No, he had Parkinson's, and
I like he had to clarify. I didn't actually
It
kill
wasn't
him.
me.
Fuck.
Okay, Shaggy.
Guys,
how
seriously.
6 years old or something like that. If I was a demon child, yeah, probably, but no.
You were like Damien.
That's actually my brother is named Damon, not Damien.
I think I met your brother. I met most of your family, right?
You did.
Met your brother. Who else was there that was your family?
Pretty much everybody.
Okay. I met your mom.
This was at my son's first birthday, by the way. Contextually.
No, I met your mom differently.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
She's single?
Come on. No, she's married. Stay away.
Married is just a word. It's nothing. Jeff, you got a shot. Go for
Dude,
it.
no lie though. Your mom is so pretty. I'm not gonna be a creep. I'm not a creep. I'm just saying, Sam, you got a pretty mom. Good for you. Dave, first memory.
Someone's pretty mom. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't think I actually had I didn't have a crush on any of my friends' moms growing up. So that was nice.
That is not what I asked. What question do you think I asked just now?
Early memories.
Jeez.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like being now in my early 40s, it's just perception of time is crazy. And I think I remember one also similar to Sam about my grandfather. I remember just seeing my grandfather, and he was really old because he had my mom when he was older. And my mom waited a healthy amount of time to have me. So when I was a baby, he was like really old.
Yeah.
He passed away soon after, so I don't really remember him too much, but it was a memory of him sitting in a chair, and I was with him, and he was looking out a screen door, and he was looking at something. He asked my mom a question. She clarified something for him. I don't remember what it was. I just remember sitting there, and he's like, "Is that?" And then my mom's like, "Yes, Dad," or "No, Dad." I don't remember what it was. Really fuzzy.
You guys have really healthy first memories.
Yeah.
Because mine's like mega traumatic, and it's so weird to me that this is what instilled me being on. Is I'll never forget. I was like 3. I was a toddler, and I always remember it because I had a He-Man T-shirt on. It was like a powder blue shirt with battle armor He-Man. So we're gonna guess 1984. So that's gonna be right on the cusp of 2 to 3 for me. I remember walking, and my dad accidentally dropped a cigarette on me.
Set the shirt on fire.
And it burning my shirt. It burnt I got burnt. My dad my dad's like 5'11" and I was 3. So I was probably only like 5'8". And
I like how you quickly clarified his height with your age as if like they're the same unit of measurements to be really like, he's 5'8", I'm 3 years old.
Yeah. But my dad, and I remember like freaking out because all of a sudden I had like
burns, fiery
little crystals on me or something. And like that, everything after that, I remember.
Oh.
But it's like, it's such a uniquely weird thing to remember as your first memory.
It's the literal spark of life.
Yeah, my parents.
I have a shirt on fire story too. That is
really go on.
It's funny how that could have been your question. Do you guys have a shirt on fire story?
Do you have a shirt on fire story?
Yeah, I was in junior high and I was wearing my soccer jersey, which was polyester, and I was at my friend's house. And
That's a melting shirt.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. So we were in his garage and it was raining outside, and we were just lighting fireworks and throwing them outside. And we lit one in the garage, and his little brother, it was a Roman candle, just poured a bottle of hairspray on it, which is very flammable. So just Yeah. So my first thought was like, stomp it out. But I stomped it out and it's like a slick, like, liquid on concrete. So I just
Liquid.
Yeah.
first stomp and just fell right on it. All like my shirt just melted, rolled up my back. I ran outside in the rain, stopped, dropped, and rolled. And I was like, how's my back look? And my friend described it as I had a divot missing out of my back. My skin was melted over it. My shirt was rolled up to the top of my back. Yeah, it was
Do you still have
horrible.
scars from that?
No, they actually healed up really good. You can't.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a story with no downsides.
I mean, I got in trouble with my parents. Trying to hide a back burn lasts about 30 seconds.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I used to do this as a joke. I did this as a joke. Like this was like a bit, but it's a real thing. I don't think kids are playing with fire anymore. And
They
like
got iPads. They
But
got
yeah, there's an app, the Play with Fire app, or they'll do it for like, TikTok, but we did it for the love of the game. Me and my Dan, was on the last episode, Daniel Ashambo, my foster brother. Before we were related, we were just like best friends. We used to just mutilate action figures. Burning them and setting up like we almost started a forest fire with the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Jeez.
Where
Wouldn't that be ironic starting a fire with a firehouse?
That was why we were burning it down. We thought it'd be really funny. That thing is worth some money, by the way. And we drenched it in WD-40 and canola oil, and we lit that up. And my friend thought it'd be funny to pick it up and throw it at me, and it just landed in a pile of leaves.
God.
So we had to stomp that out, and I ended up like peeling like chunks of like warm plastic off of my shoes, and we were broke, so I didn't have like extra shoes. Those were like my shoes. I was like, oh, this is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I can't wait to do that with my own kid. Just watching him do dumb stuff like that.
Teach him how to play with fire, dude.
I thought you were going to say, I can't wait to do that with my kid. Throw a huge chunk of flammable plastic at him while he's in the woods.
Dude, you should be like, you should just leave out books and matches and be like, man, when the kid's like 12.
Yeah.
Not
just leave out
before
cans
that.
of WD-40 or something.
Yeah. And like some like old like G.I. Joes or something. Like a Barbie
Don't do
out
that.
at a yard sale.
Don't do it in this state. Go to like a nice state that's moist and high humidity. Go there.
Go north. Go to NorCal.
Yeah,
don't where the rain falls.
We don't need more fire.
And then leave the matches and just be like, man, these matches sure are dangerous, but they are fun.
Jeez.
Me and my friends used to play with fire all the time. If you do that, maybe your kid will be like super cool. And like maybe you should hide porno magazines in the woods so we can find them.
You know what? But they're gonna not want to do what everything is cool. So you better be like, matches are lame. Who'd ever want to play with that? And they're like, I'll show you, Dad. This is cool. And hope your kid sounds like that too when he's 12. I'll show you, Dad.
I remember listening to like I used to listen to a lot of Henry Rollins. Like when I would go on like long drives, I would buy Henry Rollins spoken word albums and listen to him. And he had this whole thing about how like there's a pinnacle in music that's like the hardest, and like we kind of got that in like the 90s, like the real hardcore shit. Whereas like their kids will never be you can't have Gigi Allen and then have something afterwards that's going to shock somebody. And so he's like, he's talking about how like parents and kids will be fighting, and it'll be the parents will be like, you have pussy music, like your music is not remotely cool enough. And it's like, you don't understand. We were throwing bricks at cops listening to this shit. And I thought that like, yeah, I think maybe like the aggressive aspect of music peaked. Still great music being made, but I don't know.
Not good aggressive music.
Yeah. Dave, how's you've got some new projects coming around, huh?
I think so. I have a few irons and a few fires,
Yeah, you were at Monster Palooza because we talked about Monsters in episode 88 with Eric Barnes.
Yeah.
And that is going great. The Kickstarter's in, and
Yeah.
everything like
And
that.
Eric and I are working on the story still. So Eric's working on the pilot episode for the cartoon, like a cartoon show
So
pitch.
cool.
And
That's so cool.
yeah, we have season 1 outline done, and I roughed out season 2 and start on season 3. Just, you get immersed in this world. It helps you figure out like the characters a bit more. And
I wanted to
yeah,
say the commercial that you guys made for Monsters was awesome. The guy,
Ooh.
the person that you got to do the voice work for that.
Oh,
Jeff doesn't know
can
who
I
the
say it? Can I say
Jeff,
it?
let me tell you, Jeff, let me tell you about this stranger. No, you go, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead. No, tell him, Dave.
I'm kidding, Jeff.
No, tell him, Dave. Tell him.
No, you tell them because you're the reason I met him. Go.
I mean, it's fine. I'm not saying that I'm like unifying everybody and that I'm like kind of like a huge deal, but it is Aaron LaPlante, cool friend Aaron LaPlante.
Oh.
Has he been on this show yet?
Yeah, I called him cool friend, didn't I?
I don't. He might be potentially cool new of future.
He is actually from episode 18.
Whoa.
From things such as Primal and Resident Evil Village and many, many more things, including the Monsters commercial.
Yeah. So I did all the temp voices for that while we were editing it, just make sure it all flowed like well. Then I was like, I don't want to, all the voices sound too similar because I was trying to like really break it up. And so eventually I'm like, I need the voice of like the main narrator. So Aaron, who I met through Jeff, I just, texted him like, hey man, would you want to do a voice in a Monsters toy commercial? And he like, we hopped on a call and he's like, I'd love to. And I sent him a rough cut, and his first take, he does great, like multiple versions of multiple things. And I remember just be like, these are all awesome, but can you just dial it from like a 9 to a 13 and just like ramp everything up? And so he did all these new takes for me, his second takes. And I laughed so hard when he sent these to me. I'm like, this is it. And he sent them to me. And in the email, he's like, this is literally all I can do for you, or I will damage my voice. And yeah.
Monsters!
No, yeah, every time he sounded off like that, I'm like, Jesus, he's like gargling rocks. He's like getting so.
He is such a talent.
Yeah.
Really, like, I mean, I know he's doing a lot of stuff, but still an underappreciated talent, I think, in this world.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, but that's really great. So you have that, but I also saw at your booth at Monsterpalooza, which as of recording was just last weekend, that you also had like the Frazetta license for something that you were working with.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So Igo's stuff, which is Monsters and Kaiju Doom. Then separately, I started a statue company with my buddy Todd Johnson, who owns a company called Spec Fiction, and they sell high-end, expensive collectibles like around the world. About a year and a half ago. So he's a seller of things and he's a fan and collector of things. I'm like, what's stopping you from like just making your own stuff? He's like, oh, I've thought about it. I'm like, well, what if you knew a guy that's been doing this for about 18 years and has a relationship with licensors and artists and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, let's do it. So I had met Frank Frazetta's grandson. So there's Frank Frazetta, his son Frank Jr., and then Frank E., who's basically Frank the Third. I met him at PowerCon 2 years ago. We hit it off, and he basically told me he wants to make statues, and so I told him about this new venture with Todd. So he was into it, so we signed a deal with the Frazetta Museum, and last year we debuted a near final. I use heavy air quotes with near final because it ended up being a lot more rework. Just because Frazetta is really hard to get right. We work with amazingly.
Yeah, that would be, that's.
He's like the grandfather to many, like anyone that works in like the film industry, video games, or fantasy. Yeah. If you ask him like who the top 5 favorite artists of all time are, Frank's gonna be in like most of those.
Do you have Boris Vallejo if you don't have Frank? Like, do you get a Boris if you don't get a Frank? Like
possibly, yeah. Or
it's like do you get an Olivia if you don't have a Vargas?
Yeah, maybe.
Like where do those inspirations and influences come in the long term?
Yeah. So Frankie's been great to work with. So last year we showed a sculpt. We started to paint it. We realized some things were off proportionally. Seeing it painted, made some sculpt edits, repainted it, redid the portrait like 2 or 3 times because it's basically a likeness. And we had some troubles, like just some, life happens to all of us, so like with one painter, they couldn't commit to it for certain reasons. So we had we lost a couple months there, which is fine. It happens. worked with another painter, and then California was on fire in January, so that was a whole nother stop to the project because it got really close to that painter. So it was always one thing after the other, and Todd and I were just like, let's just show it at Monsterpalooza. Let's not worry about getting up for pre-order in March or April or whatever. Let's just go for that. So we brought it to Monsterpalooza, near final, still a couple tweaks we want to do, but we showed the Egyptian Queen quarter scale deluxe statue. We showed a 3D print of a 1/10 scale version so we can have something way more space friendly and price friendly because the quarter scale piece is like insane. It's like a living room table you would need to display that thing. It's insano. So having a 10 scale version was great. And then we had Dawn's Early Light, which is a piece a lot of people don't know by name, but it's basically like a nude porcelain, like body and blonde hair girl standing on top of a rock in the middle of a lake, and she looks super happy and she's throwing this big red fabric over her head. It's like one of the most joyful pieces.
Oh, I know that piece. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Those
think
are
Sideshow sold an art
how
print of it.
funny.
So
How nice.
we showed an unpainted sculpture of that thing, which is near final. And then we showed a 1/10 scale version of that as well. And then we were going to have a 1-to-1 life-size bust of this Death Dealer sculpt we completed right before the show, but it got lost in the mail right before the show. So
Death Dealer, though, huh?
life-size, bust lost in the mail. Ugh.
Death
So-
Dealer, that's probably like the main Frazetta, right?
I don't know. It depends who you talk to. When I thought of Frazetta, I think the first thing I think of is that Conan the Barbarian with like.
Yeah, but that's not Frazetta. That's Conan. That's Robert Howard. You know,
Well,
that's what I mean. Like, Frazetta's ownership.
Oh, Frazetta's ownership, like for sure. Death Dealer. He did like this. I think 6 different paintings, like main illustrations. He
That one on the horse. That seems to be the one where he's like on like the mound kind of looking.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
badass. How do we?
How do we a life-size bust? We're like, let's do a life-size bust of this guy, and it was great. The sculptor worked his ass off to get done before the show, and they flew in from Spain to be there at the show for it, like to see that piece.
Oh, cool.
And got lost in the mail, so that was a sad moment. But we had a 1/3 scale representation of it, so a lot smaller, but still cool.
Has it been found since? It's been about a week.
No, we're basically in the middle of making an insurance claim and give them a couple weeks. And if they can't find it, we'll get refunded and 3D print another one. So that's the great thing about digital is you can just print another one. At least it wasn't like a painted prototype. We lost.
It take a while. It's a life-size bus.
I know it's a big box. How do you lose that? Like what happens to a
I
big?
thought you were gonna, I thought you were gonna say it was like a handmade sculpture. I'm like, no way.
No, that's a great. Yeah,
The first clay sculpture that a company decided to make in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So like Monstores, obviously, right? And Kaiju Doom. And now we're like, how do we find the Frazetta stuff? Like, is it all, can we all get access to that on your social media or?
It's on Reventures social media. So I think it's Reventure Studios on Instagram.
I'll look it up. Don't worry. You keep talking.
I think we have a Twitter account. Yeah, Reventure_Studios. We're calling it the Frazetta Legacy statue line. Again, with Frank Frazetta Jr. Enterprises / the Frazetta Museum, which is like the main museum in.
Oh, so that Death Dealer thing, that's more than a life-size bust, by the way. I know it's life-sized, but it also has an arm with an axe.
Yeah, that might have been why it got like caught up somewhere. Like this, they're shipping an axe, like you're shipping a weapon. I don't know. So
You can ship axes.
I know, but
It's a thing you're allowed to do.
from one country to another, they might be like, they're mailing a we gotta make sure it's not a real axe or that's a bomb. They have questions sometimes about big things.
That's cool as hell. I'm trying to see if like what cool friends. Kirk Thatcher likes that stuff, by the way. I noticed he likes the Death Dealer statue. Cool friend. And Dre likes it. Dre follows this account, and now I do too.
Nice.
Wow. I'm looking at this video on Instagram. This Egyptian queen, this is huge.
I know. REVENTURE_studios, folks. If you want to take a look at it, which like you should. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Honestly, Dave. Like really, really love it.
Todd's great.
Oh, it's Todd. Todd's great. Yeah, I've met Todd.
Yeah. Super awesome dude. So he's helping make all this happen, basically the yin to my yang, and he has great creative mind for stuff. He sells podiums. He with his under his Spec Fiction company, he makes these light up podiums, and we had those on display at Monsterpalooza.
And then so like for people to buy,
yeah, you can buy these podiums. Yeah.
Cool. Sam, what statues are you working on right now?
Let's see, what was I doing in ZBrush recently? I was making a toad. This is me personally. Like I was making a toad from Super Mario.
Not familiar.
Statue.
Is he a frog
Like
character?
the frog, like Wart
Toad a
from Mario
frog
2?
character?
No, the one with the little mushroom on his head. Toad.
No, Wart had
The
a
frog
crown.
with a
The
mushroom on
toad
his-
with a crown on his head, and he doesn't eat vegetables, remember? At the end, you throw the turnips in his mouth and he gets angry.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the
And you-
Dreamland one. Tokidoki Panic reskin. Come on.
And
I
you
know.
whack him over the head with a wet fish to beat the coins out of him. But the coins are cryptocurrency and they're worth nothing, really, you know?
Yeah, could you imagine like a Mario character trying to get into crypto?
It'd be great. You like hit these question mark boxes and just like you're like nothing happens.
I could
Yeah.
see Wario getting into crypto.
Quite the literal question mark scenario. He's just like, I'm gonna go to jail for selling a garbage crypto coin, huh? So, but you're sculpting a toad.
Mhm.
Cute version or like realistic version or
Cursed version, I guess. I
go on.
haven't touched it in like a couple months, and it does not look good at all.
You haven't touched it in a couple months. What?
My ZBrush license expired, so and
Oh
it's very expensive to keep it going.
man,
but-
they make you pay a license for that.
Yeah, everything makes you pay a subscription.
Remember when you used to own stuff?
I do. I miss it a lot.
Remember when you didn't have to pay your movie rent and your TV rent, your phone rent?
I still buy movies on physical media because when you buy digital, they're not really yours. So I still once in a while
That's
buy
all I
it.
do is physical. I
Yeah.
don't trust digital at all. Yeah.
Same.
It
I
is
do-
funny how they like tricked us, where they were like, "You're gonna have just a library of everything, no commercials, just pay the subscription." And as soon as physical media was like nailed in the coffin, they were just like, "Here's some
Yeah.
commercials. Also, we removed everything you love.
Ugh, God.
And that
Also,
one
here's
you
Here's
had
a terrible movie that cost us $300 million to make because
Mhm.
The Rock is in it." Man.
Such a bummer.
Imagine they got The Rock to play the Thing. You know, like that'd be cool.
Oh, that's very meta. You know what's interesting? And it's one of those things where, like, I was talking about this recently, where, like, The Matrix, they put humanity in, like, the height of civilization, and it was, like, 1998. And we were all just like, what a cop-out. I think they nailed that shit.
No, yeah.
It's, like, right before, like, MySpace and Facebook.
Mhm.
Like, the internet still existed, but it wasn't ruining our lives. We weren't like chasing dopamine hits on phones.
Mhm.
Like late 2000s, early 2010s, it wasn't that bad yet.
It was
either.
pretty bad, man.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't bad for me. I don't know.
The iPad came out around then.
Oh,
You can't tell me that the iPad was like a good idea.
I don't think the iPad at first was as normalized as it was after, like, you know, a generation or two.
I think we're forgetting about the fever that the iPad created. Remember, people were like,
a lot of
using
hate
it
when
to,
they
like,
first announced the iPad. Like, what's this dumb thing? It's a laptop without a keyboard. Who needs this? And it.
oh,
took-
I remember people going crazy for it.
Maybe we have different friends, Jeff. Maybe we have different friends.
It was like do you remember, like, people were bringing them to concerts and like filming? Now they're like a little hokier. iPads now are considered like babysitters.
Yeah.
Let's
that's-
talk to the parent who has a
Yeah,
one.
are you going to make your kid an iPad kid?
No, absolutely not. We're like even trying to do a thing right now when we come home at night, we try to like eat dinner, get ourselves ready for bed, etc. And we just try not to even have the TV on. It's like the TV's on the weekends kind of a thing. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes we're like, you know what, we're so tired, we just want to like just chill and watch like Always Sunny or Bluey or something. But
Always Sunny.
It's basically the same show.
no, it's funny. He doesn't understand anything yet, so we can get away with watching it in front of him. And we try to avoid the stuff that's like very like, oh my god, that's very...
Show him RoboCop.
I was shown RoboCop when I was like 4.
Yeah, I was pretty young
director's
for
cut.
RoboCop, and I was really into it.
I was shown RoboCop when I was 4. I think The Crow when I was 5, and then Terminator 2 when I was 6 or something.
Of those, 2 of those seemed like they'd be interesting to a child that age, and also The Crow.
Yeah.
The Crow does not seem like a movie that would be fun for anybody under 12.
No, my dad was just a big fan of it, and he never stopped watching it. It was that.
Oh, that's such a weird That's so weird to me that a movie that came out when I was, what was this, 93, 94?
Something like that. Yeah.
When I was like a teenager,
Mhm.
was a
Yeah.
movie that a guy I know's dad was obsessed with. Like, that's weird to me until I remember that I'm in my, I have white in my beard. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I've aged.
Sam's only 24, so makes
Came out
sense.
in 94. That's
94, yeah. So I was 12/13.
I was 3 years old.
Wow. I'm so much older than you. I'm the oldest man. I'm the oldest person on this, right? I think, Dave, I'm a little older than you, right?
Pulling me by a little bit, like just a skosh. Just a skosh.
And we all have different hair lengths. Dave, you have like Tarzan hair.
You can tell on this podcast.
Well, that's why I'm describing it, Dave.
Hear it.
I have this.
For the listeners at home, Dave is violently shaking his hair, and Jeff is taking off his headset and like brushing out what he has left of his hair. So
What's that? Who's what?
nothing.
I am. Yeah, no kidding. I've barely. I have more hair than people expect, but
No, you have way more hair than I do. I started going bald at like 23, and instead of panicking, I think Breaking Bad was really hot at the time, and I'm like, I'm just gonna Walter White it for the rest of my life. Screw it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
You have a good
I
shape too, Sam. Now that I've just met you for the first time, I feel like I can touch it, and I'm like, this is a good shaped head.
I shaved my head in 10th grade once, and I looked like a white supremacist.
Jeez.
I looked.
So
People
much
were like, "You look like one of the," because like Higher Learning had just come out, and they were like, "You look like the Nazis in Higher Learning," and I'm like, I don't love this.
Thank you.
I do not love this. I was like
Higher
really
learning
excited.
Nazi is better than an idiot Nazi. I don't know. Like, what does that mean?
I don't really know. I think they're all pretty much the same.
You said you shaved it in what grade?
Like 10th grade.
10th grade. Okay, so that was a way before American History X.
When did American History X come out? It might have been right around that time, because like that came out in 98. So in 98 was the end of my junior year. So 98 was the end of my junior year and the beginning of my senior year.
So a little before you shaved your head.
So it was like about a year or so before that. Yeah.
My friend played an extra in that as a white supremacist. He's not a real life white supremacist. He was one of the guys that broke into the gas station or whatever for that scene. So yeah.
Wow.
That's really fun. Sam, so like what do we have anything to promote for you, or like is there anything that you might want to say to the listeners or anything like that? Because Dave, we got his stuff. We're getting Death Dealer statues now.
Promote. I would say I would like to promote goodwill towards men, honestly. And just
I love it. I love it.
Good Samaritan, go out.
It's all biblical.
Hold the door open for people when you go to a place that has a pull open door.
Ooh,
Buy
especially
flowers
if they're just far enough away where they're inconvenienced because they have to do that kind of slow jog and then they have to thank you for it, but they're also a little bit annoyed.
Yeah. And then you as they're walking away from you, you shut the door. It's like, I did good.
The sweet spot, like 10 yards out, and you hold it, and then they have to thank you, but they also are like super inconvenienced by the fact that they now have to jog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I have to promote. Share and be nice.
The new Cher. We love Cher. I love Cher. She's great.
Is her new album called "And Be Nice"?
It's called Goodwill Toward Men.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I guess we're wrapping up on here on this one, but man, what an exciting moment we get to have. We have a first timer in Super Producer Sam, as well as a third timer in David Igo. So everybody check out all the great stuff that Dave is doing, and put all that goodwill towards all those men that Cher is doing that Sam brought up. And gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
I have one question, Jeff, real quick.
Yes.
Sorry. What episode is this?
This is 100-ish.
Part 3.
It's 100 part 3.
We have a 100-ish returning champion in you. So we have a 100-ish, a 3-fer, and a newbie. So
Here's a spoiler alert: there's actually a lot more than 100 episodes. This is, I believe, the 100th like guested episodes. Because I've done, I do end of the year, beginning of the year, sort of like year-round wrap-up episodes, and I did one right before. Was it like right before this? So like episode 99 point something was was also me,
99.5.
because I was like, all right, I haven't actually set up how I wanted to do the anniversary shows.
Mm.
So, because we had the amazing Corey Casella was episode 99. And so I did I did 99.5. That was like a happy anniversary. I've got something coming, and it's been this, but you guys have realized how hard it is to book these segments.
Oh yeah.
It's like so hard, but it's been great. And like the results have been so wonderful. And like the combinations of people have been really, really great. Some are old friends like Dan and Tim McCouga, who have known each other for, 20 something years. And then some are people who have never met, like Jeff Has and TJ Shevlin, who just like each other's stuff, but have never met. And that's been really fun. And we got more of those coming, folks. There's a lot more guests coming your way, so stay tuned. I'm going to do more segments for this episode, which you guys know. But then I'm going to do another episode and try to go through and get more people in when I can. But
I'm excited for Mark Hamill's episode. Can't wait to, and Jeff Goldblum. Really excited for those ones when you have them on.
Jeff Goldblum is a menace in Los Angeles. If you want your wife or girlfriend's hair to be smelled, just go to Jeff Goldblum Jazz Night.
Yeah. Kelly worked at a gym a long time ago, and he hit on her, and she was married at the time. And then he went away, like she turned him away, and they went and hit on another chick and got her phone number. And it was just like he just goes. He just goes.
He's a menace, and I stand by that. Very likable, very charming man. Menace in Los Angeles.
Sorry.
He's a menace to like boyfriends and husbands.
Mm-hmm.
Women love it.
Yeah.
Because you know what they say, a charming man can never be like lecherous.
Yeah. That's a good t-shirt. That just needs to be on like white font, black t-shirt.
Yeah, because when you're not charming, you become Andy Dick.
Oh,
Jeez.
Every performer in Los Angeles has an Andy Dick story, by the way.
Wow.
All right.
So a lot of people are going to have a Jeff Mays story because you have a million friends. So there you go.
I have some cool friends, and I'll be running into them, of course, at San Diego Comic-Con. I will be there, by the way. I'll be hosting a panel for a one-on-one panel for one of my cool friends who was actually a guest, I believe, on the previous incarnation of this show. I will be hosting the one-on-one of J.G. Jones, who is a special guest. And I guess part of being a special guest at Comic-Con is you have to do an hour panel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, would you host it for me? And I'm like, you're damn right I will. So check that out. Anyway, you guys are great. I love you. I love seeing you. You're wonderful. People listening, you're also great. I love that you hear me, and I love seeing all your comments. So feel free to leave them down in there and enjoy the rest of this episode. But until now, say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye. Congrats on 100 episodes, Jeff.
Thanks, Sam. Love y'all. Bye. Woo. Just taking a moment in the middle of this to take a break and to shout out all of our incredible producers that we have on Jeff Has Cool Friends. And I'm so very stoked to give a big thank you and welcome to our newest producer, Put Watches on a Belt for a Waste of Time. Hey, you get it. And a big shout out to them. They did just join pretty much right before recording. So that's really great. I absolutely love that. So welcome to the network. A big shout out to check out this month's Nerd with Dre and Jeff, where I can say whatever I want to promote this. And I will just say, if you like Sega Genesis and if you like pinball, baby, I don't know. You might like this. Who knows? But you'll like the episode, that's for sure. We're a big shout out to Watch Me Use These Prehensile Nipples to Pick Up Pennies Off the Floor. Shout out to the Oatmeal Savage, of course, and Call Me Sean or, whatever. A big shout out to the Enchanted Wandering Unpierced Left Nipple. That only goes up to 11. Cider served at room temperature with just a pinch of cinnamon. A big shout out to Funky J Mousley, comes out at night. Mostly. And of course, I'm going to start calling Yoda Old Grogu just to see what happens. Shout out to Sweet Keel, that scene in Lost City where Brad Pitt dies. Aldo Vargas is adding Jeff Has Cool Friends producer to his resume. Do it. I will lie for you. All the things that Shirley Manson sings in the garbage song that she says she'll do for you, I will do that for you. A huge shout out to Burrito, my best friend, to The Treatment, a podcast about stories with Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. Everybody check that out. The Becks are great. And Mark is probably also great. I don't know Mark specifically personally, but I know the Becks and they are delightful. So check out The Treatment, that podcast. A big shout out to at Ravages of the Scourge for your fantasy themed death metal and deathcore needs, which we all have. And that's RAVAGES of the Scourge, SCOURGE. A big shout out to Lemming Malloy, David Knifeboot Hinson, Porcelain Jesus. Bobby Opulent would like to offer Jeff a nice brioche bun in this trying time. No thanks, Bobby. Norm from Cheers, Dan Hackroyd, and of course, a shout out to blacktulipmassage.com. I cannot stress it enough. If you are ever in the Central Mass area, you need to book with her because she is a gosh darned miracle worker. All right, that is our producers, all of the people that make it so that we can do this show properly and right and have a good time doing it. I'll check in at the end and we'll see you soon. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another segment of our 4th anniversary episode of Jeff Has Cool Friends. And I have with me, of course, 2 amazingly cool friends. A more recent guest joining us is the amazing, incredible comedian and Disney star, Disney's powerhouse, Joey Bragg from episode 91. Joey, good to see you.
Of course. Thanks for having me, man.
And we are bringing up our next one. I am absolutely loving this one. Guest from episode number 4. That's right, 4. Yeah, it's been a while. The incredible, amazing comics multi-hyphenate, multi-time Eisner Award nominee and maybe recipient, nominated, of course, this year for DC Pride's short story Faces from 2024. Phil Jimenez. Phil, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm sorry about this. My light is flickering, so I apologize if the strobe.
Not video. Don't worry. We don't give a
great. Drives anyone into seizure.
Yeah, that would suck.
People are watching. Phil.
I apologize.
Epilepsy warning.
Okay.
No, this is one I love. When I was actually building these things together, I actually sent Joey a list of everybody that was on here, knowing that he would pick Phil.
Oh, really?
As like the guy, I knew it. There were like a couple of people that I was like, he might go here, but I knew it would be Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Because Joey, you're a huge DC guy.
Huge DC guy. And also a huge Wonder Woman guy. I've read all of Wonder Woman from George Perez to current. It's the only... I've skipped... I'm a big Batman guy, too, but I've skipped everything, read all of Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Big fan.
That's actually pretty great. I was just writing Batman literally about last week.
Like a letter? You're writing a letter to him?
I was writing a letter. It's a love letter to Batman. And I was just thinking about the lessons I've learned from other writers about how to write Batman dialogue particularly. And this is neither here nor there, but it's a quick sequence with him. But everyone has always told me that the best way to write Batman is with the smallest number of words possible.
Yeah.
Batman is not a talker.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that. So every sort of retort and response, it's the thing I'm talking about is this upcoming Titans annual. And so he's scolding the kids with the fewest words possible. And so he's been on my mind a lot lately.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is how I like Batman to be written the most. Like I like when most of his responses are just
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
the
a
best.
jutted out jaw.
Right.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while he'll say something absurd because he lives in an absurd universe, which I love. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like, we have to take out the lollipop alien.
Yeah.
What was that? Dark Knight?
It's a fine line between like you're reading like Long Halloween, which is a very grounded crime
noir
story.
Yeah.
And then like the next, and concurrently with that, he's like in Grant Morrison's Justice League. And he's like, the Xylons have Zoopla fluid, and we need to fill their Zoopla fluid full of more Xylon sign. What?
Right.
Yeah.
You're Martians, aren't you?
He's like, I'm detecting dark side. Like, yeah, the idea of like the world's greatest detective being like, and now I have to fight Stone Thanos. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
I do always argue though that the reason I think Batman and Wolverine are so successful for me, partially is because of fan and creator love. So those characters are so fleshed out that you can put them in any environment and they will react appropriately.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of love that when a character is so well built, even if I'm not fond of that character. I'm like, if I put Wolverine in this time period and these clothes and whatever, I know exactly how he's going to behave.
He's still going to be a weeb. Yeah.
For sure. He's still going to have that hair. And I was just thinking about all this various, mostly in like crossovers, but like all the various situations I've drawn him, and he will tell you, or he'll tell me how he should stand, what he's doing, what he's thinking, etc. And I think that's a really extraordinary thing. It's like an intangible among a well-crafted character.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's got so. I was talking to my girlfriend about that. She's not a comic book reader, but she can't help but it be scattered throughout our house everywhere. And that's what I was saying. I was like, a lot of these characters, like Batman, has been around for almost 100 years, and he's gone through a bunch of different iterations, and a bunch of different artists and writers have like kind of altered who he is. But for the last 40 years since Neil Adams, he's kind of been a version of himself that is pretty similar. And then it's just he's getting backstory and he's getting fleshed out, and it's getting to be this, like, he's so well rounded. There's so much going on. There's so much backstory, and it is a character, it's a person. And so when I'm watching something and I don't feel like she made fun of me because I can't remember what I was watching. I was like, sorry, my cat won't shut up.
We can't hear the cat. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good. But we were watching something. And I was like, oh, this is not how Batman is. And she was like, what do you mean? What do you mean this is not how Batman is? And I was like, this is there's 40 years of people writing this character, and they've all agreed that, like, he doesn't make excessive jokes, even though every once in a while an artist would give him. Mark Waid gives him some jokes sometimes. But it's a character that has been like virtually unchanged for so long. And in that unchanged, he gets so much growth and backstory. Same with Wonder Woman.
It's very interesting to me how, and I know he's not like forgotten, but how many people don't realize how important Denny O'Neil was to the concept of Batman.
Yeah.
You know, like where because it's like obviously comics is a visual medium as well, and so like you'll see, like, you know, Neil Adams gets a lot of credit on that and stuff like that. But it's like, well, Denny O'Neil, when you're like, he's been kind of consistent for 40 years, and it's like, yeah, it's because Denny O'Neil was the writer that turned editor for Batman, right? Like, and he's just like, no, man, we gotta straight and narrow that.
He was a guardian of that character for a long time, and he and I had a little bit of conflict about it because when I did the Batman Wonder Woman crossover, I told the story many, many times. He hated that because he was working with a version of Batman that was as grounded as possible, and any introduction to a mythic character, especially in the environments in which he existed, like Gotham City, made Denny crazy. He just he hated it because his whole goal was to create this, I think, the Batman that we have now, which is a highly grounded, almost realistic, you know, wounded guy doing his thing.
Yeah, and like street level for the most part.
Yeah. And it really ripping off Daredevil. You know, like, why does Batman have to be such a pale imitation of Daredevil?
Yeah. It was, and it could be wrong, but it was more on their JLA run that created a Bat God version. Like they're the ones that made Batman. And I remember being in the offices. I remember this so clearly when they were trying to figure out the Justice League, like what each one could do. They had decided that Batman was the smartest. No one is smarter on the planet than Batman. And that was his shtick, right? Like, he was always right. Batman could never be wrong. And I remember the conflict between Rasper and Denny over Batman and what environments he could exist in and how he behaved, etc. But Denny was an incredible guardian and shepherd of that character.
I love to think that they're like, we want to keep these characters grounded, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna make Joker Phobos, and yeah, they're all gonna start kind of becoming these Greek myths.
Right.
Not disheartening, but for someone like Denny O'Neil and somebody who's trying to keep Batman to be very grounded, and then Grant Morrison gets to write Batman, and you're like, like, not this Silver Age freak who loves all the weirdest, stupidest stuff Batman's ever done. He's like, how can we put this into the comic? And you're like, and they just be like, why are you unraveling everything? He's like, because I'm an agent of chaos. I'm here. I'm actually the Joker.
It's funny because also Grant Morrison's run was what 2008.
Well, yeah, but
Around
I
that
mean,
time?
because he did JLA in '90.
He did. Oh yeah, and like
in the
but
90s, and then he came,
97?
yeah.
but
That's
then when
the post Marvel versus DC run, right?
yeah, and his like Batman run was I was 10, 12. Like when whoever's writing your character when you were that age doesn't necessarily become the definitive writer, but becomes the like definitive voice for your character. And so I was coming up in Batman in it was like I remember the comics when it was like Batman Reborn and Batman Rip and stuff were coming out. My dad was like, damn it. This is not what I liked about Batman. This is getting too fantastical. But for me it was like, the Damian Wayne arc was mind-boggling, and Under the Red Hood was insane.
That's so crazy to me that like Andy Kubert's a Batman artist for you.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Like,
honestly.
whereas he's like for me, it was X-Men.
Yeah.
And for most people. But like, it is interesting how generations come through because we're all separated by a generation. And one of the real excited parts of when Joey, you were like, I'd like to work with Phil. And I was like, I love that. And let me explain to you why that's even better is because we all have a similar passion for these characters and these scenarios, but we are all divided by a few years. So we get to consume those characters so differently, whereas like for Phil, it would be like Batman 66 and the Wonder Woman television show being the most accessible forms of that. And like,
it just makes you so much older than you are. For Phil,
well,
it was
like
those old Batman serials.
He's not wrong. I'm not sure that Batman series. It's interesting because I don't think the Batman show.
I mean, they rerun the hell out of that show.
Right. But I was thinking, I don't think it defined Batman for me in the way that the Linda Carter show defined Wonder Woman for me.
No.
And I'm not sure why, because I was consuming them at the same time. But I think going back to the age in which you consume, I think the fact that Dark Knight came out when I was an early teenager.
Oh yeah,
I was like 13. I think that cemented that iteration of Batman, something like that. I'm just suddenly thinking it's funny, like how one version was like in my head is so clear, and the other isn't. Although what I do love, this is neither here nor there, but I actually rewatched that first season of that Batman show, and it's actually stunningly beautiful.
It's so
really
gorgeous.
It's a beautiful show.
Well,
in terms of art direction and production.
It's a mod comedy.
And I think I think it was the most expensive show at the time. And I want to say, is this true that Lucille Ball had something had something to do with it?
Well, I mean, maybe because Desilu, obviously they did Star Trek.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking Star Trek, but I thought she had something to do with that too. Anyway,
very well.
The thing that's really amazing to me about that show, what does stick with me, was how beautifully produced it was. It's an actual lovely looking show.
Yeah, it is like aesthetically very. I don't know if it's the generation that I'm from or just those being, on VHS and we had to like go buy them at a flea market. I find Batman 66, but also Wonder Woman kind of so dated they're hard to watch.
They're hokey, but the thing about Batman 66 is, and I didn't know this as a kid, because as a kid it was like my access to Batman was reruns of Batman 66, Batman on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, because like there wasn't and it wasn't like Batman the Animated Series didn't come out until I was 10. I'm too old now to be having the thing like really beamed into my head, right? So I watched Batman 66 relatively recently, and when you view it through the lens of like I'm watching deadpan comedy, it is high art.
Art.
It is high art. But if you look at it as like a Batman adventure, you're gonna be like, this is so lame.
Yeah,
and I always argue, like, it's fun. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. I'm not a fan of most episodes of because I know how bad that show is, right? Like, objectively, I would say 80% of those episodes are terrible. But there are two or three things that are really interesting. The ones that are good are I would actually argue are really good. They're structurally sound. They have sort of feminist underpinnings. There's like the one that hits me, which is so funny, is the one that introduces Deborah Winger as her sister. If you watch that, aside from the humor of Deborah Winger as Wonder Girl, there's this amazing sort of feminist undertone to that, and it was written, but the two-parter was written by two women, and shockingly overt and subtle at the same time. And it's kind of wonderful. Like the idea that the Amazons think the Nazis are ridiculous, right? Is sort of, there's something really amazing to me about that. And they treat them as that. Like they're clearly a threat, but they're also like, they're essentially big boys with guns. And there's like, to imagine that in 1974, to me, it's actually really amazing. And then there are a couple of other, there's the amazing one, I think it's an early season 2 episode where she has to fight as this telekinetic guy who, a Japanese man who believed that she was responsible for his brother's death in World War II and comes after her for revenge. And it's actually this sort of amazing dissertation on World War II and internment camps and stuff like that. So I always like to say that she's incredible in that role. The show was mostly garbage, but there are a handful of episodes where I'm like, oh yes, that's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing. Her physicality is still mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like
them hips, dude.
I agree about her mind-boggling physicality.
That she could wear that with the least amount of self-consciousness is incredible to me.
Oh yeah. She was gorgeous.
Yeah, what it must be
gorgeous.
to everyone, people see you and they're like, well, you're a goddess, obviously. Like I remember watching an episode of that as a kid where she was like hung upside down.
Oh yeah.
In the Wonder Woman costume, trying to like escape from something. And even as a young kid, I was like, can they do this? Can they do this? Because I'm changing.
I am watching up this right now.
Things are making a hard shift for me.
This is on hard.
One last, because clearly I obsess over this, but the other thing that always makes me laugh is in current day, in cosplayer times, I get so many comments about Wonder Woman should have straps on her bodice because her boobs will fall out otherwise. And my counter to that is, I'm never going to draw her boobs falling out, so I don't know what you're worried about.
She's a drawing, by the way.
Come on, please.
Like the real concern that in comics, like at some point, something's going to come like bursting out. I'm like, I just don't think we're ever going to draw that. But then two, the thing is, we had 3 seasons of this woman running around in that costume and nothing. Like, you're going to be
love to see the dailies.
Right. Wonder Woman will be fine. Trust me. Like, if she doesn't have straps.
Yeah. Let's just attribute it to her being a goddess. The boobs just stay where they're supposed to.
Like, that and an underwire bra, and you are all set. Like,
there's this DC Universe Online is like this MMORPG.
Yeah.
And it's got this incredible trailer that came out in like 2008, and it was like, it's all CGI, and it's really cool. And I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid, when you didn't have much access to like. I used to tell people like, I like, not like I actually am watching the porn spoofs, but I was like, I like watching anything where the heroes that I read are moving around and in real life. Like I will eat it up no matter how bad it is. And this DC Universe trailer is not bad, but there is one point where Wonder Woman gets knocked out by like Circe or something, and she's laying down. And they put kryptonite in her mouth, so when Superman goes up to her, she's like poisons him, and he picks her up, and her boob, like, it's like the most, somebody like went in there and CGI'd and was like, I'm gonna make these boob physics so realistic. He picks her up, and her boobs just like flop to the side, and it's all I could watch. I was 10 years old.
That's all you needed.
Rewind.
Right.
It's so funny that it's like, that's real life Wonder Woman boob physics are really interesting, because
the jiggle physics is out of control on that.
Yeah.
I always found it's very funny because sometimes you'll see, like, every once in a while, I'm like, I wonder what's going on Facebook. By the way, nothing good. Don't.
Risky move.
Not for years.
And like, my algorithm loves to put arguments about superheroes as like my suggested. And it'll usually be like James Gunn, people that hate James Gunn because he's not Zack Snyder. Like, it's a lot of that. Like, Superman punches through Joker's chest because a lot of idiots grew up on like,
I hate that,
on Injustice. Superman as being
a lot of my comic book generation idiots grew up on.
It's so bad. But there's another group of people, which is the arguing over fights. And they're like, you couldn't actually tell me that Batman would beat Captain America. And then I'll always just, and I don't know why I do this, but I'll add a comment where I'm just like, so real quick, these are actually drawings. These are drawings of fictional men. These men aren't real. And whoever wins the fight is actually whoever the creative team decides will win. So that's how Batman would win. Batman would take out Galactus because that's how the writers wanted it to go.
You could usually tell who's going to win by whose name is on the cover of the book. That's a good harbinger of who's going to win the fight.
How's it going to win? By having this title.
Yeah.
By having 600 issues of this title.
That said, I will say I am one of those people, and this is a practical thing, working with these characters. Super speedsters make me crazy in comics. So like writing this Titans annual and writing anything with Kid Flash, I'm like as an adult.
You have to nerf him. Yeah.
What?
You have to find a way to nerf the character.
Always, constantly. You have to find a way to slow him down or get something in the way because he's just so fast.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of like, what's Robin doing? Like Kid Flash has already taken care of the whole fight. And so it's a really interesting, I think when you have characters, particularly with amped up superpowers, I do think it's a really interesting question about how do you make someone like Robin or Captain America look useful. And I'm reminded of an anecdote I was told about the original Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel and how she was depowered because she was making Captain America look useless.
Huh.
Because she was the leader of the Avengers in the 80s and she was like so powerful.
Yes.
And it was decided that she had to have her powers, I think, removed. I think she lost her powers for a while because Captain America should have been the leader of the team. And I was like,
they got to put a female POC down.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's sort of like, it's such a bummer. Like, and I don't think they were really thinking about it that politically, but it is interesting the balance when you have these, again, these human characters surrounded by vastly powerful, more powerful other characters. And just the story, just the conceits and story you have to figure out to make them all make sense together.
And then
a lot of characters becoming the quote soul of the team.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're just like we got every team has a soul, and it just so happens to be the one that doesn't have the power.
You're keeping us together with your mediocrity.
Thank you. You're all just a Rick Jones in our book here.
But then I think there's also periods where, because power scaling is such a big conversation with comic book readers, especially right now for some reason. But then there's like moments where, like, I will never forget when New 52 happened in 2012, and I was, in high school, reading that part about Batman and Darkseid, and then Darkseid telling Batman that he's the only human that's ever escaped his Omega beams. And I will never forget that. And it was just one of those moments where, like, you're reading comic books. A lot of the time I'm reading it for the story, but most of the time I'm reading it just to see cool shit. And I will never forget, like, I was like, that's so cool. That just to explain that, like, yeah, Batman is such a ninja. He can avoid the Omega beams from this god from space. I'll never forget that. And that's where power scaling sometimes is cool. Like, if we don't do it and we just let Batman just be a quick little guy, then it's really, I don't know, it's cool.
Right.
It'd be funny if it just didn't hit because Batman's actually short.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
I thought you'd be 6'2".
Yeah, you're supposed to be like 6'2", 6'3". He's like, that's what it says on my Tinder profile, but I'm not getting any hits.
Wait, what are those shoes? I've been hilariously, I've been getting a lot of them in my Instagram advertisements. That's sort of like they're risers, so it's like they're tennis shoes, but they give you 3 extra inches.
Oh, huh. I am not getting those ads, Phil.
The push-up bra of men.
Essentially. And so it's like Tom Cruise wears them and Downey Jr. wears them. And I'm just suddenly thinking Batman wears them too.
That's so funny.
You'd think it would have to be, right?
Yeah, also, Batman goes to the first Justice League meeting and then comes back 2 inches taller the next time.
Oh, well, that was also an interesting thing working on Wonder Woman over the years, and then working on that encyclopedia, the new DC encyclopedia 20 years ago, was height, because everyone got taller. Wonder Woman went from like 5'11" to 6'2". Batman went from 6'2" to 6'4". Everyone got taller. And it was clear that was a mission for the editorial team, was that there was no one of diminutive height unless
that's so stupid. Like,
yeah,
as a
even Nightwing, I think like I think he was like 5'10". Now he's like 6 foot or something.
He should be Nightwing should be 5'9".
Yeah.
9.
Like the thing is, and I've talked about this a lot, but like height might be the most overrated metric of fetishization. I was going to say attraction, but it's not attraction. It's being fetishized really, where it's just like the practical uses for this are so limited.
Yeah.
And all it is like just like my back hurts. And like it sucks on planes. Like I'm not making more money the way people seem to assume I am. Like that's not it. Like I just like why do you like this?
I'm excited to see in the new Superman movie, Isabella Merced plays Hawk Girl, and she's like 5'1".
Hell yeah.
And
oh my god,
she is a small person. And I don't know if you guys saw the new Captain America movie, Brave New World, but
I saw it on the plane.
There's a character in it that is like I guess 5 feet. It sounds like I'm like a hiatus right now. But the one thing that
you are really making faces when you say
like, 5'1". I can barely say it without vomiting.
She's 5'1".
But she is in this movie in Captain America, and she's very short, and they never mention it. Like not one character is like, "Oh, you're able to handle yourself, but you're really small," and that bothered me. Like that, it was just one of those things where I'm like, these people are hanging out. She just took like, there's this classic gratuitous scene where the small lady takes out like 3 armed guards.
Girl power, baby.
I needed pussy power, baby. I needed someone to just say like, wow, that was impressive because you're really short.
Right.
And
yeah.
I just needed.
How did you do that? With
Yeah.
the diminutive existence.
Like the whole Puck from Alpha Flight, the Canadian.
Yeah. Great.
And his whole power is that he's a short guy with the strength of a full-grown man.
He's a little circus guy. He's a circus guy.
He's a circus guy.
Yeah.
Like he was terrific. I was gonna say the one thing about also just from an art standpoint is I love height differentiation because it's a character thing. Like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Having a character look up or look down at someone is I actually think really important. So I remember one of the things I used to love about the Cassie Sensmark Wonder Girl and Artemis was that Artemis was like 6'1" and Cassie I think was 5'2" or something, and Artemis was teaching Cassie at the time, and I love that because her teacher was so much taller than she was, right? Like that absolutely changed the dynamic of their interaction.
You know who's great at that? And I'm just going to start throwing out names. Todd Knock is an artist that really uses height differentials to his advantage in his art style that I think is really interesting, and obviously by I think doing a lot of teen characters in the 90s as he's sort of coming in was really great. I would also like to say, Phil, that Jim McLaughlin of the Hero Initiative says hi.
Hi.
He texted me and he's like, yeah, I have an extra ticket to Santa Anita if you want to come. I'm like, I literally have to work. I'm talking to Phil right now. And he's like, boo. Jim's great. Wizard Magazine, folks, Top Cow, and now the Hero Initiative. So.
Wow.
He said it. Just wanted to give him, and a former cool friend, or from the other show at least. Good dude. And a regular at Mint on Card. But I just wanted to interject that in there because it was, he said hi. On top of that too, now, like, it's funny because one of the main concerns I had about this episode of this segment is I'm going to lose my reins of the episode. And I did before we even started recording. But because a lot of this is just like, what have you guys been up to? So I'm going to ask very quickly, what have you guys been up to? And then we're going to go back to geeking out again, because that's what this is all about. Joey, what have you been up to since we last spoke about, a few months back?
Just a lot of stand-up. Doing a lot of stand-up. I'm pitching this movie around, trying to get something off the ground, pitching a podcast. It's one of those things where, like, nothing significant has happened in our time. And since the time that we last spoke, and I feel like it's a good time to say the grind. That's my favorite answer.
Are you going to Comic-Con this year?
I don't have tickets yet. Usually somebody gives me tickets right at the very end.
Yeah, I can actually do that if you need them.
Oh, see.
So we'll talk offline.
I'll get you to sign my Paradise Lost.
There you go. See that? That's how it works. I'm actually going to be hosting for JG Jones, his one-on-one.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Because he's a special guest, and apparently when you're a special guest, part of that is that you have to do a 1 hour. So he hit me up to be his host. So I will also be there. So maybe we can get a a Jeff Has Cool Friends segment photo.
Get the old band back together.
We're getting the band back together. But that's great. Yeah, the grind. And Joey, you are obviously an incredible talent, and I'm furious at how much success you've gotten at your age.
Thanks, man.
Curse you. Yeah, no,
if it's any consolation, I'm mad too.
I will say this though. After the last episode, we did get that sandwich.
We did, yeah.
At High Mart, and it's a perfect sandwich.
It is a
Phil,
perfect
you're
sandwich.
nominated for last year's DC Pride book.
I am. That was a nice surprise, actually. So, yeah, I have a nomination. It's my first for writing, which I kind of love.
Oh,
but
cool.
what I really love about that nomination is that it's for the entirety of the short story. So if it wins, my artist, who was so lovely to work with, will get his first Eisner. And I think that's really cool.
How many Eisners do you have?
I have 3.
You have
They're
3.
they're all for Wonder Woman Historia.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's I don't know if you've Wonder Woman Historia is a good book.
Also,
It's a solid book, right? It's
solid
pretty.
book.
Yeah,
Guys.
it's
it
pretty.
is gorgeous.
I have it too. I remember years back, I was at a Comic-Con party. Todd Stashwick introduced me to Ed Brubaker, and we're talking, and it came down to the fact that you and I, Phil, were friends, and he goes, "Oh, do you talk to Phil?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we text once, a couple times a month, maybe sometimes." He's like, "Tell him to hurry the up." He's like, "I want to read that book so bad." He's like, "I just want to read the book, please." and I was just like,
I can guarantee you that everyone said that.
yeah. And you know what?
They threatened to take me off that book so many times.
3 Eisners later.
And I was like, you can do it or you can let it be what it's going to be. And I like to say that editor Andrea Shea, who was also my editor on the DC Pride book, she and Chris Conroy were huge advocates for me for letting me finish it and letting it become what it was. They were incredible. And I think in a world where I think we continue to slight editors, I think and DC's gone through a lot of convulsions. The editorial team they have remaining is actually pretty incredible, and they're big advocates for their creators. It's really lovely.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's
It is.
awesome.
It's one of those books that I don't think would have happened in any other era of comic books.
Agreed.
It's just so of the time. It's just beautifully done. It's gorgeous to look at.
It's large. It's a larger
It's
format,
large.
right?
It also is one of those. It's funny because I also have Paradise Lost in my stack of books. My girlfriend moved into my house, and it goes from my whole room. It looks like a child's bedroom to now it's got to be tasteful, and now there's got to be you got to really choose what's on the shelf.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is an easy pick, just because it's a great book, and I can read it over and over again and never get tired of it. But it also looks fantastic on a shelf.
That makes me happy to hear. Yeah, I'm actually, pride is not something, I don't have a lot of work pride, if that makes any sense. Every job.
You're saying this during Pride Month?
Yeah.
I know. That was a good one, by the way. I have no witty retort. That was good. But I'm pleased that Historia came out the way it did, because I had a vision for it, and it is rare, I think, in our business to be allowed that sort of space and time to build out.
Yeah.
And I'm notoriously so anyway, but I think the work, I think people understood why once they saw the work, right? It was all there. And it was really lovely to work on a project where every panel, every choice was deliberate, as opposed to because I had to get something out. So there's the number of Easter eggs.
It's all killer, no filler.
Yeah. In that first volume, I was talking to someone in collected editions. I would really love to do something where I literally just said, this is what this is. And, every flower, every tree, every building, every, part of Hera's crown, it all came from something. And I just feel very lucky, again, I keep saying it over and over, because we just never get an opportunity in mainstream superhero publishing to create like that.
So that actually reminds me what you're bringing up. I don't know if you've ever read the Absolute edition of New Frontier.
I don't think I've ever read the
hardcover of it. Okay. So it's a great, it's New Frontier, right? Darwin Cook.
Also, Darwin Cook does a great job in that book with height, I think.
Yes, he does. His Wonder Woman's thick too, which I really like too.
Yeah.
She's definitely she's got big legs, and it's because she's a warrior. But the footnotes, might be my favorite part of that, because I don't know if anybody knows this, but it's actually DC's New Frontier, which there's a great animated thing about it, but it's about the rise of the Silver Age. And it is actually written in chronological order of publication.
Oh yeah, I did.
So like no characters show up until the publishing schedule would have had them show up.
Right.
Which is just brilliant. But the footnotes, every single comic that is referenced is brought up very, like, this panel is because our man did this at this time from this published issue. And I remember reading that, and it was like reading an archive. Like, it was so fascinating. And so, Phil, I really think that's an insanely doable thing. I would love that.
We've been talking about it. Yeah, I would love to see that happen. And then, but again, the bottom line is, it is nice to know that there's space for that kind of work in our business. The funny thing about my Darwin Cook story, because Darwin and I were really chummy, and I remember being in Toronto, and Darwin sat down. He's like, we were talking about New Frontier, and oh God, how did he phrase it? Now I'm forgetting, but it's basically like, you hate my Wonder Woman, don't you? And I was like, I don't love her. And he goes, I knew it. And he started laughing at me. And we had this really amazing conversation about that iteration of the character. And he goes, I was thinking about you the whole time. And that's really the point of the story.
Wow.
That he was thinking about me while he was writing Wonder Woman. I'm like, wow. Like, I mean.
But also knowing you'd hate it. I'm going to get him.
But to know that, like, I was even a thought in Darwin Cook's brain while he was approaching that character was just the most kind of lovely, unexpected thing. And we had so many great laughs about it. And yeah, it's just
that's so cool.
I think, Phil, and as I know, I've already stolen so much extra of your time, guys, because I'm so excited to do this.
This is my favorite. This is honestly, it's so cool, Phil. I'm like, I do these podcasts all the time, but for lack of a better term, a little starstruck. So
I will have to wrap for a minute, but I'd love to come back actually because this has been great. It's been really, really lovely.
Look, if we want to just do another, like, an actual full episode of you two together, I'm totally down to do that. Like,
yeah, me too.
Literally no problem at all.
Sure.
And I really do hope that you guys do connect with each other, of course, on Instagram if you are not already, because it's an easy way of transitioning, and we can go through that. But what I wanted to say, Phil, too, is like, it's a very unique and rare group of people that get to have their name be the one that is associated with the character. And I think you and George really sort of get to hold that for Wonder Woman with all the incredibly talented people that have worked on the character, right? Like, an unbelievable, when you look at like this, like Greg Rucka and all that stuff, and like all these great writers that have covered her, and yet you have stood as sort of the pantheon of being sort of related, and you've done so much great stuff, and yet, like, to have it come back to Wonder Woman and to have the Historia be the things that are bringing you in and getting you that acclaim, it's like, it did seem very cyclical and powerful to have that be there. And I really love that. Like, you're one of the rare creators that gets to have their name, like, attached to a character, even though they're doing so much other stuff. And I just really love that for you.
We were talking earlier about childhood influence, and I've mentioned this before, but I also think it's why I take my job really seriously, because that character meant something to me by the time I was 5 years old, right? So she's been this sort of guiding light force, not to be, too sort of ethereal, esoteric about it, but like, clearly she has meant something to me long enough where she was a driver, whereas where I wanted to work on this character that meant the world to me from the time I could remember reading and watching TV, and I got to. And I think that's really, very few people, I think, get to have that sort of dream come true, and let alone sustain it for 30 some odd years. So I'm highly aware, and always kind of almost frozen about like what an honor that is. It's a really big deal, I think.
I think also the way that you think about it, and how important Wonder Woman and Diana is to you shows on the page, which is why that your name has been synonymous with her for so long. Like, it definitely, you can see the love in every panel and every It's fantastic. And you're absolutely right, Jeff. Like you are when people talk about Neil Adams with Batman, that's you with Wonder Woman, and that is, very impressive.
It's very sweet. I will say that one thing that concerns me a little bit in our business generally, and sort of the things is I do believe characters need to be handed off like generationally. And so I love that I have this sort of guardianship of her and that my name is attached to her. But I'm like really thrilled to like when new creators come in and they interpret and they create a version of that character that has meaning to the generation reading it.
Yeah.
And that's true of all these characters. I actually think that's hugely important.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I was reading comic books, Greg Rucka was writing Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
When he took over, it was I was young. I was still really young, but I just remember thinking like, oh, okay, now we're writing a book about what it's really like for women in America right now. Like it was what it became, and that's kind of what was important.
Greg.
Yeah, it's what was important to like my generation at that time, because like I said about a post 9/11 world, like it's cool, but if we want to see a giant monster take out a building, that's just. We've seen that, and that kind of happened to us. So now he wrote that story about Wonder Woman coming out with a book of ideals and bringing that. And then, like, that was of the time of my mom watching Oprah every day.
Yes!
So it's so very of the time.
Also,
and it has to evolve.
Is there a character percentage-wise with more iconic covers?
Oh, interesting.
Percentage-wise, right? Because like she's not getting Batman, Superman, Spider-Man numbers, but like when you look at the covers and you look at like, I mean, Brian Bolland was the steward of her covers for like 5 years, and J.G. Jones, and like the historic. Like I think about that. Like I think about
got it right up there.
Adam Hughes and Dodson, and
right? Terry Dodson,
and George did his covers for almost 5 years.
Phil, I was going to ask you one last question too. Like the artists, sort of that newer generation, and when I say that, I mean stuff that was made, I'd say like after like 2005 or something like that. Like, were there versions of the character that like are your favorites? Like, who are your artists? Where you're like, when Cliff Chang was doing it, like I really loved that version of the character. It was so different. Like, are there any
New 52 version?
Yeah. Like, were there, with Brian Azzarello writing that one, the real Greek mythology one, right? Where it was like in the weeds a bit. But like, are there artists that really like, really kind of surprised you when they showed up?
Who was Greg Rucka's artist? Because he made Ares so sexy the whole time in that run.
It was Drew something, and I can't think of it now. And he had a couple of artists. Drew Johnson, I think it was.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
Ares was hot.
It's so funny. Our take on Ares in Historia, because he only appears a couple of times, and he's basically like looks like a dude from the 300, and it's because we wanted him to look, because he represents war.
Drew Johnson seems to be the first.
Yeah. And we wanted him to represent war, and the funny thing was, so he's like the dude in college you knew was a bag but was so hot, like all the girls wanted to him. And it's sort of like that was our take on war. Like war is shitty and awful and racist and all this kind of stuff, but
all the girls want to
he's a Paul brother,
him, right?
Aries Paul.
it was because we were just talking about how we've made war sexy, right? This is really unsexy thing we've like made hot and sexy.
Would Aries have a podcast? Oh my god! Oh no!
It's so funny because like sorry, I'm not trying to step on anybody, but the idea that Ares takes over like the Joe Rogan or Alex Jones kind of world and uses that, because like he is not that Joe Rogan is inciting war, but he's definitely not helping. And like you can get people riled up, and you can start like having ideas bleed into people's brains. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
like Aries a podcast.
I mean, you do what you got to do, right? It does seem like Maxwell Lord would be like, if they recruit like a Maxwell Lord or an Ares or something like that.
Yeah.
I always found that interesting about like the Wonder Woman movie, right? which I loved, except I hated the ending. Like I loved the movie, they didn't stick the ending to me. But one of the things that I thought was like such a great opportunity is the whole movie, she's like, Ares is doing this, Ares is doing this. And I thought the payoff would be like, actually, this is humanity.
Right.
Ares is an allegory for humanity, and Ares gets his power from them, not vice versa, right? And I thought like it's clear that that was going to be the big twist at the end. So then they're just like, just kidding. It's let's have a Zack Snyder fight.
Although I will say Ares getting his armor from like that explosion and putting it on him in the end of the Wonder Woman movie did rustle my jimmies quite a bit.
Apparently that was really hard because the studio, this is gossip, triple check it, the studio wanted him covered in armor. And the director wanted to make sure the actor's face and more of the actor was seen.
You got David Thewlis. You get David.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was some funny. So I always found that one of the trickier parts of that ending for me was that the armor was a little. It felt like it did not dominate the way that I would have imagined Ares to do.
Yeah.
And apparently that's because there was a back and forth between the studio and the director about how much of the actor's face should be seen.
I also loved when they were like, here comes the Snyder cut. You aren't ready. And then immediately like, check out the biggest badass of all. Darkseid. Oh, he just got his ass kicked. Darkseid just got bodied by David Thewlis with an X.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's your big bad right there, folks. That's your, imagine.
That is funny. I never thought about that they start that movie being like, here's him getting his ass kicked by our gods, by the way.
Right. Like, it would be like if you introduced Thanos in a post-credit scene of Age of Ultron, and then Captain America just drills him and knocks him out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, am I supposed to be afraid of this guy now? And people were so mad when you called that out. I remember Tom Ryman, my co-host on Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, wrote an article on Collider about how funny that scene is because it really neuters Darkseid. And everyone's like, actually, it's Uxas. It's like they call him Darkseid. When they're telling the story, like a guy named Darkseid, it's like he kicked his ass so bad that he forgot where he was.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not good storytelling. It looked great.
Yeah. Zack Snyder's a great cinematographer.
He's one of the best cinematographers he's not a good director or writer.
No.
Phil Jimenez, follow him at Phil Jimenez, PhilJimenez, NYC on Instagram, and Joey is at JoeyBragg on Instagram. Gentlemen, I'm so sorry I took up all your time, but I just wanted to do this. We're going to reconvene. We're going to do this again. Good. Down the line, because this is just the geekiest damn conversation I've ever had.
Love it.
Last thoughts, anyone?
Phil, are we friends?
We're like best friends.
Thank God.
Wait, what's the show? Fuck.
Nobody knows. You're cool, friend.
Doesn't really matter. Anyway,
all right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Folks, for this segment, I'm so excited. This is actually a first for this series of episodes that we've been doing. I've had friends on the show that knew each other. I've had complete and total strangers on the show that have known each other. But this is the first segment I've done with a happily married couple. Look at that. That's so exciting. Of course, I am joined by episode 55's Emily Winter and episode 87's Chris Calogero, two of the funniest, sweetest, most creative, and kindest people that I know. And I'm so glad to have you both.
Hello. Thanks for having us. I'm so glad that I got the
Oh my God, 32 before
30,
me.
Yeah.
I wanted to pace it out. I don't want it to seem like nepotistic.
Yeah, you are our child.
Yeah, it's also not one of those things like I've broken couples up over the course of it as well.
Oh, no.
That's me. But like I never like to keep them too close because I also feel like they have similar things going on oftentimes where it's, because I try to mix it up where it's like if I have a comedian, I do not want a comedian as my next guest.
Right.
Like, because then it's just it becomes the next thing you know, it's just like the state of comedy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Another one of those podcasts.
It becomes like what the Mark Maron, notably
I'd hate it.
Podcast.
WTF with Mark
I
Maron.
would hate to have those numbers.
I know, right?
I would hate to have Obama.
Let's hope they're going to you.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's releasing his podcast guests into the wild now. And then they're free agents.
But I just all those hours of listening. That's like free hours that are like for the taking.
Yeah, people are going to be looking around for new pods.
Yeah.
Here's the place to get them, folks. Right here on the Jeff Has Cool Friends Network. You guys, you guys disappear a lot together, and I love it. Like there'll be times where you're just like, oh yeah, so we're like this summer we're just in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so fun.
You said white.
White. I did say white. Yeah, it was. You said it was Wisconsin.
Oh,
white. I did say
You guys, you were gone for a little bit, and you came back to California a couple, like month and a half, 2 months ago.
No, we were.
we've been in Joshua Tree.
Yeah, we've been in Joshua Tree
That's
since.
California, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fires happened in January, as you know. And we came out to Joshua Tree while the fires were like happening and subsiding. And then we never left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are in Joshua Tree now, but you did. Because the reason I'm saying this is because I hit you up for something and you were like, I am in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
That's not Wisconsin. That's this other thing.
Yes.
And
we're away in the middle of the
Yeah,
sea.
we were.
We were at sea for a week.
And like usually when a comedian tells you that, they're like, I'm the comic on a Carnival cruise line.
Right.
Something like that. And you were just like, we're on a catamaran.
Yes.
Or whatever. Like
We were on a catamaran 6 hours from civilization for a week.
Yeah, it was scary.
It was hard.
like that's pretty cool though. Like what the f was that?
So I scuba dive, and my oldest friend, who I've known since I was a baby, also scuba dives, and she's really intense about it. And so she organized this catamaran where it was like super bare bones, 6 couples or pairs of friends. We all got on this catamaran and we did scuba diving for a week. There was 4.
I'm notably anti-scuba diving.
Well, so Chris is afraid of sharks and
Reasonably so.
scuba diving, and he swam with sharks. And that's his favorite. Jaws is
my favorite.
I'm literally wearing a Jaws tank
beautiful.
top, and I was not expecting this.
Yeah. So Chris came. There was a couple non-divers, and you guys like snorkeled with sharks, and we saw some endangered lizards and very few
Did you eat them?
on land.
We did not eat them.
We fed them grapes.
We fed them grapes.
Which apparently they're allowed to eat. So yeah. So we did a very strange and difficult week on a boat.
A guy on the boat that we met for the first time there called it a hardship vacation.
Yeah, we did a hardship vacation.
Oh, because it's a hardship, but it's also on a ship.
Well, yeah. But you're like, it's not like relaxed by the pool. It's like, okay, wake up early, get in the water. It's still like vacation, but it is like a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of seasickness. It's a lot of
Ooh, yeah.
closet,
Opening in a closet, yeah.
Seasickness is so random for me. Like sometimes I'll be like on a boat, no problem, and then there'll be other times where I'm just like, today's the day.
The problem is once it like starts to get you, there's no backing away from it.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck. You're just like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna loll up and down and keep puking my guts out. I don't know for 4 more days. Is that what this is?
It's pale. It's awful.
I was sick almost the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only way I could not have seasickness was to be inside of the sea.
Yes, exactly.
Right. That's
That's
true.
honestly one time, like part of the reason I'd never gone night diving before, and part of the reason I did it was because I was like, I gotta get in the water so my stomach stops hurting.
That was scary.
Depending on how fast the boat goes, you could always just be like, look, man, I'm just gonna hold on to the side here so I can get reestablished and not as seasick. Just drag me.
It's
yeah.
I didn't
I'll
realize
put a wakeboard back here.
when I was younger, very young, I was a mate on a yacht, and I never got sick, and I would like go into work like hungover all the time because I was like 22 and 24 or something. Anyway,
Still a yacht mate.
Ages where you could have gone into work hungover all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like asking the captain of this boat, I'm like, why am I sick now? I used to be on a boat all the time, like every day, and now I'm sick. And he was like, oh, it's the catamaran. It was, first of all, the weather was like choppy, but then having a boat with like
the 2 flotillas, right? Like
it makes the boat constantly go up and down and back and forth. And he's like, if you're gonna this is not a good boat for seasickness.
Right.
Because you're trying to shake you off, it doesn't have that. Because like normally boats have that kind of slice down the middle kind of buoyancy, right? Like that. Yeah. But not on Catamaran Town.
Catamaran.
Not on, what was it called?
Cat Palau.
Cat Palau.
Cat Palau. So where is that where you went? The island that you were going to, or?
No,
No, that's the name of the boat.
yeah,
Okay.
we were in the Bahamas. We started off. Where do we?
We started off on Nassau.
Yeah, but
and then he goes like 6 hours out to sea.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you're just nothing, like uninhabited lands, and
What'd you eat?
then we had some cooks on the boat. They made meals every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I like that.
I'm not a fan.
no.
Was it mostly like seafood meals?
No, it was like tons of meat that I don't eat.
A lot of meat.
Like ruining mac and cheese by putting meat in it. Everything had meat in it was disgusting, and I couldn't eat it. And so yeah,
Wow.
so it sucked.
Yep.
Wow. You're racist against Bahamians.
Well, these were South Africans.
Yeah.
That were cooking.
Oh, South Africans.
Yeah.
You're racist against white people then.
Yeah, they're
Afrikaans or-
notably in trouble right now.
Notably in trouble.
Yeah, they're an endangered species,
Right.
according to
All but
Trump 2 weeks ago, or Elon Musk now, depending on when you're listening to this.
Yeah. All people that you can really trust.
Yeah, they were a very trustworthy people. We asked them what kind of meat it was, and they told us to not ask that question.
Yeah.
So now you guys are in Joshua Tree, which is a great album. Or also a great place to take mushrooms.
Yes, we have not done mushrooms here.
Not yet.
I mean, I don't understand what you're waiting for. If you've been
We
here since
have
January.
the stick. We should do it.
Maybe today.
Maybe
Are you
today.
guys waiting for like the right mushroom experience moment, or?
Sometimes I feel like mushrooms, like sometimes it's like should we take them? And it's like I personally think that it should be at least a little thoughtful.
Well, here's the other problem. We moved to the desert, and then I made the mistake of telling everyone, hey, we're in the desert. And then we've had visitors, we've had 11 visitors in 4 months.
That's too many visitors.
It's too many visitors.
Also, that sounds like something you'd hear in like an old West novel.
Yeah.
We've had 11 visitors in 4 months. It's
Yeah,
too much for us to handle.
Yeah.
We're in
I guess we didn't start in this place until February 15th, and we've had 11 visitors since February 15th, however long that is. So
Yeah.
5 months.
It's like we're running a flop house for
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just, you haven't had time, and every time that people leave, I'm like, trying to get my together, and then it doesn't feel like the
and
right
somebody
time.
else is coming.
Yeah, then somebody else is coming.
It's great. Like one of the things that I've always like when people are like, I'm coming to visit, I'm like, that's great. So I'm going to be cleaning on Saturday. I'm not gonna not do that because you're in town. Like,
you're like, I'm not gonna change my thing, and I'm
well,
like,
it's like I can't
clean the house.
you're like, I'll never clean the house if every time somebody's like, I'm now here.
Right.
Because I love having guests too, but sometimes like and like good guests are the ones that know. They're like, yeah, like, do you want help?
Oh, right, yes.
But then there are some guests that are like, hey, so I'm gonna make my vacation now has to be your vacation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're like, we're going to Disney. I'm like, have fun. They're like, you don't want to come? I'm like, that is $400
Right.
yeah.
for a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Can't
It's
do
I
this.
can factor in my Lilo and Stitch plush toys that I have to buy.
Yeah. If I want to eat something, I will have to get a loan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, it's insane. It is really such a thing, and I think when we sneak back here after our summer of Midwestern playing, then we'll
shut the up about
I'll
it.
shut the
Like honestly, like you can also just be like, if people are like, come out, be like, let's hold off. Like,
Yeah. Right.
you know, why don't we have a party
yeah.
once, and then all of you can come over one time,
We'll
and
knock
then you can
all
get
out.
the out of here.
Yeah.
Because even when you love the people that are coming there, eventually you're just like, I still do need to live.
Right.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Even if you love them, there's a point where you just want it to not have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do really love that, because like the other side of that, I want to celebrate that other side of guests is those people that will come out and they'll be like, look, man, I'm just going to be out here. Anything you want to involve me in, that's perfectly great.
Right.
You know, or like I have a couple plan. You know, I will say this. Dre, my co-host on Nerd, he came out recently. A bunch of people came out for like Mint on Card. A bunch of like
that's great.
listeners and stuff. They're awesome. It was so great. And
Cool.
Dre came out from Wisconsin.
Where in Wisconsin?
He lives in Appleton.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
That's up
Appleton.
north. That's up north.
Like,
And he was just like very chill of like, you know, do whatever you're doing. He's like, I would like an old fashioned while I'm here.
Of course.
Like it was like that's just one of the things that we want. Him and Landon were there, and they said that, and I was just like,
survive.
I was like, I'll take you to Taylor's Steakhouse. Let's go. And we went to Taylor's Steakhouse, and he's like, this is exactly what I wanted. And then it was just chill, fun, no pressure, and like those are the best versions of people coming out, where they're not like, what are we doing today?
Yeah. You don't feel like you have to set their agenda. But man, now I want an old fashioned.
Dude, I know. We got the parties today.
Oh, you guys have some parties today?
No, we call it the parties when we...
And the feeling of like, we want to sit in a bar and, yeah.
Oh, you've got a case of the parties, is what you're saying.
Got a case of parties, yeah. But here, I will tell you this. It's not a good day for partying in the desert. So it's a Saturday.
Oh, no. There are a lot of wide-brimmed hats walking around.
It's all the tourists and not the locals. Yeah. And so the locals...
You know the hat I'm talking about, that big straw, wide-brimmed hat.
The cowboy hat?
No, not. It's more like the Coachella hat.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The one. It's got like the black band going over. I could have been more descriptive.
I bet we could find a place. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's like the Starbucks crowd.
Yes,
it is for sure. Yeah.
Out there, yeah. Or the Air One crowd, if we want to get fancy. That's a fancy spot there.
Oh.
Hey, so aside from traveling and being great, individually, what have you guys been up to? Like, what are we doing nowadays? Chris, I know I saw you yesterday as of recording.
Yes,
you were in town working on Judy Justice, right?
Justice, yes. I work on Judy Justice and all the offshoot shows of Judy Justice.
And you play Judy.
The Justice. Yes, I play Judy. Yes. Only on every odd day, but the makeup team's outstanding.
I mean, yeah. The makeup artists are just second to none there. Yeah.
Stan Winston's son works on it, but I work on that show. I would do post production for them, and then I've been very lucky to have a lot of auditions lately. So I shot a commercial a couple weeks ago, and then I just shot a very fun audition this morning for a job. So like I've had a really good run of that. And so that is kind of what I have been up to, is working on auditions, trying to get better at acting, and working on old Judy Justice.
Emily, what about you?
Nothing.
I ain't doing I told you I went scuba diving, damn it.
I'm literally having the crisis that I feel like every writer in LA is having. It's over. And it's over. Hollywood's over. It's all dead. It's all gone. Goodbye. So what I've been doing when things are not going my way for writing, I switched to stand-up and live show producing. And so I've been producing a lot of my One-Liner Madness shows, and maybe I'm shooting something with the production company in September, which show you will have to be on, of course. But yeah, so if you're listening to this, follow One-Liner Madness on Instagram. It is a show where 64 comedians go head-to-head in a single elimination bracketed joke tournament. And I've been working on it for 9 years, and it is my baby, and I love it. So I've been working on that a lot, and I'm trying to get my first album together. I finally figured out a way I wanted to put it together, and it's been a really long time coming. So I'm going to be in the Midwest doing a lot of headlining spots this summer, and I'm trying to get that together. And I am also trying to finish a teen novel that I started in 2010 when I was a blog editor for teens.
Really?
That's Emily. That's Emily's version of nothing.
No, I don't have any money.
No, I know.
I should. It's a bummer that you guys are married. No, I'm just kidding. Ivor Marie Palmer would be great for you to know. She's a young adult author and a good friend of mine. She writes books for young adults and teens.
Amazing.
Yep. Sometimes that happens. Well, because you wrote that great trivia book.
Thank you. I wrote a trivia book. I used to be the editorial director of Spark Notes, which is like caters to teens. And I was in my 20s. And so I was brought on to like hire the writers for the Spark Notes and stuff, but also like build out a blog, because that was a thing that existed. Yeah. And so
that could pay your mortgage back in the day. You guys have no clue.
Too bad I was a salaried employee of BarnesandNoble.com. But anyway, so we started this blog called Spark Life, and then I started writing a fictionalized, serialized thing on there that kind of took off at the time. And so I retained the rights to it. And so I do have this like lifelong dream of can I say finishing it. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's on the.
Finish it.
I want to
so
go
hard.
back though and talk like Emily's the One Liner Madness Instagram. Obviously follow it because
And that is all one word, One Liner Madness. ONELINER MADNESS, which has a considerable following already, which is really, really fantastic.
But I also just want to say, like, it's also just great. Like, it'll give you a flavor, a sample of the show, and it also has it has great jokes on it. So, like, it is a really worthy follow just for that fact.
Yeah, it's jokes from people doing the show in the past.
It's great.
Fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm up to. I just think like everything's going crazy right now. So I'm trying to not like put too much blame on myself that I'm broke or lose my mind that I'm broke. I just feel like the whole world's falling apart, and I'm just trying to keep my head above water and not be too much of an ass.
Yeah. Bring it back to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn right. So Chris, you released Husky Boy.
I released Husky Boy last August.
Perhaps around episode 87, maybe?
It's probably.
Perhaps was that a thing that we might have done?
Oh, that would have been a good
And yeah, I had a couple of your listeners message me after watching it on YouTube, and they were really, really gracious about it and kind. So
nice. Yeah, because you did that September 10th was when your episode dropped. So
okay, cool.
Right after Husky Boy went up. Did Chris, did your experience doing Husky Boy, now have you brought that into what Emily's doing? Or Emily, are you like, if I want to record an album, like I kind of have to figure these things out on my own? Like, I don't know, like stand-up comedy versus making a comedy album, they're different.
Yeah.
Sure. And like we had
Emily was there every step of the way, so
for your But I'm sure I will like need his help and rely on him. And we have like a little thing that we do called ideas table. So if like we need to like have creative talks, we need creative help, we do ideas table, which means we usually get like a nice cocktail.
Yeah.
And we bring our creative problems and then we try to solve them. And it's like dedicated time.
Yeah, with each other. Yeah. So it's like sometimes a person will be like, "Can I ideas table you?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then everybody brings their stuff that they're working on and talks about it.
You guys are one of the healthiest couples I've ever met in my life. That's infuriating. It's infuriating. It's just like,
I don't know. My A1C levels are probably not great, but it's a fact.
I get that joke. But like that idea of just like, what a team. And I truly adore that about you both, that you are so supportive of each other. You're so like wonderfully in love, right? Ooh, Chris, don't make that face. No, but and like that like ideas table thing is just like, it's a partnership that I'm supremely jealous of.
Good.
Because I want to take that joy from you. I'm like really Yago. I see something and I'm just like, how can I ruin this?
I get jealous. It's not, like Chris just shot a commercial where I
shot a commercial where I had to act with my head upside down.
Yeah. And he had a dedicated head holder and her name was Anna. And I was like, what? You ran off to LA to get your head held by Anna? And I was mostly joking, but like 10% not, you know? So anyway.
It's nice having a personal head holder.
I do. I recognize that with like the jealousy and thing, which is weird because I never normally got jealous, but like I remember like my marriage like was really competitive. Like my ex-wife and I were both kind of like competitive, almost. I don't want to say alpha, but like really the type that were competitive. So it would always be these kind of like little snarky back and forth. It's kind of one of the reasons we broke up. So I was like, hey, we fight all the time.
Because we're competitive, but we just play a lot of games.
Yeah, we play a lot of games.
Oh, I was not like, we weren't allowed to play board games against each other.
That's no good.
Yeah.
We had to be on the same team if we were going to ever play games together.
You would have never gotten through the pandemic together. Because that was like 30% board games.
It really was. Yeah, it was a ton of games.
To be fair, I didn't survive the pandemic in my other relationship either. So that's that's okay. That's okay. That wasn't a competitiveness thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I just, it's one of those things where like, I'm really glad I got to have you two together because I do really like to see it like you guys are you're like the anti sitcom version of a married couple. You know, like we grew up on these sitcoms where it's always like the drudge wife and like the idiot husband, you know,
Right.
like you and it's all that and just the idea of like this team that works together in a very difficult field and is always there to sort of like lift each other up and push each other forward because like it's not necessarily like it is about individual accomplishments and that those are things that happen, but about like celebrating those and pushing those. I just really like it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Like, I just really don't care about my career at all anymore. I just want Chris to succeed and I want to live off his money. And I will do anything to help that situation come to fruition.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That idea, like I remember, I will say this, in my old marriage, I was not the breadwinner. I was a teacher. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she made like triple what I made. And I had a couple of friends that were like, does that bother you? I'm like, does having more money and less pressure on me bother me? No. They're like, doesn't that do you not feel man enough? I'm like, I am a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like how much more do you need?
Yeah,
Right.
like what form of masculinity do you think that I'm the most focused on right now? Because it's not about being able to live more comfortably.
Right.
That was yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I think that we also like we realized right away though that we had an ability to help each other creatively because we were when we first met we were attacking stand up from very different angles.
Like I was very writerly about it and he was very like off the cuff. And I think that like I could like I needed to be a little less edited and a little more free and he needed to be a little more edited and a little more like
regimented
and constructed. I don't know. There's a word.
Yeah.
But
finding that balance in stand up, right?
I think we kind of helped each other. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys have because I always said with my stand up, it would be like anywhere between 75-25 and 80-20 of like prepared material versus like what's going to happen in the moment. Do you have like a number that you kind of like look at as like if you're doing a set when you're just like, I need to leave enough room for this while doing my sets, or are you much more regimented with your sets?
I would say that I don't have any numbers, but I always have leave an opening for magic that happens in the moments, whether it's a new line that pops into my head or having to deal with something insane in the audience or
Instagram reels.
Whatever. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but I feel like every set is also very contextual. Like there's some times where I feel like, God, I'm doing what I need to do, especially when I was preparing the album. There was many sets where I was thinking, just you have to do this because it needs to be constructed in the way you want. And then there's sets where you think, oh, I can really have fun here and I'm going to be extra loose. So that's how I approach it every set differently.
Yeah.
In that regard. Yeah.
Same, bro. I never thought about numbers, but I definitely like felt like super loose, especially when I had back before pre-pandemic, back in New York, I had a weekly show, a monthly show, and a quarterly show. And I was doing other people's shows pretty much every night, like very, very often. It was great. And so I felt like I could be loose and I felt like I had to be developing new material, which is something that I have not done very much of in LA because it's just like I think it also just depends on how often you get to go up and have those like great experiences. And I find myself maybe a little tighter than I used to be and a slightly more regimented because there's just not as many opportunities. And then also like I'm preparing this album, so I'm gonna have to go and be like really like this is this part and this is this part, which is not my typical. I would come in with like a loose idea of what to do.
Yeah, I've always been really big at like creating an outline and then feeling it out more than like, you see some people and they'll write out their jokes in sentences.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm definitely like a keywords kind of person.
I couldn't imagine it. I was like trying to figure out how you could even do that. Cause I'm like, wait, how are you writing? And they're like well-written jokes. I'm like, but are they translating out loud or somebody like, I would say a good example is, former guest of the show, Lori Kilmartin. You know,
That.
she writes like essays
Yeah, she's
of
so
like
good.
what the sets are going to be and then builds it up like that and breaks it down and rebuilds it every single time, or like a Jackie Cation or somebody like that, like
Mhm.
people that are like consummate professionals that have been working in comedy since it used to pay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think that some people though have like everybody's approach is like slightly different. Nobody has the same approach.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
You're right. That's the
Right.
beauty of it and the scariness of it because there is no like if somebody wants to start comedy, ask 100 comedians and they'll get 100 different answers how to do it.
Yeah. I'm working on I wrote a couple of new premises, but I haven't been performing.
Yeah.
So like I'm writing these premises and I'm like, I don't know who this is for, just my 10-minute set at Mint on Card.
Yeah.
And then I'll like look at them later and I'll try to remember what I was thinking.
God, the worst.
It's like Trapper Keepers gave ADHD kids too much false hope. Like that's just the thing I wrote down. I'm like, man, I probably had a joke in there that I didn't write down and just wrote the premise down.
Yep.
But
Yep.
just like the absolute hope every late August that I would have when I got a new Trapper Keeper. I'm like, this is the year I'm going to be organized. And then
Yeah.
September, 8th, I'm just like, a bomb has gone off in my bag and it is in my Trapper Keeper.
I mean, do you remember like having to jam pieces of paper into like stupid folders that were in the Trapper Keeper, and like because of the rings, like it wouldn't fit, and then you'd be like, "Well, just get it later," and then it's like, and then like that one piece of paper is just all you need to just spiral, and then just have a backpack full of garbage, and yeah,
My backpack came preloaded with garbage.
Yeah, I went right to backpack with
Yeah.
garbage. By the way, those things did not make it into the folders.
Yeah.
Like maybe for 2 days, and then it became just the big. I remember like at one time I was in high school. My mom came to my school and like emptied my locker.
Oh,
My grades were so bad because I just wasn't doing. I was like losing assignments and not doing them, and she would literally just like she cleared it out, which is like kind of bullshit, but also like. I don't know. It was pretty cool move on my mom's part. Like,
yeah.
sucks for me, but as an adult, I'm like, man, lady, you're hardcore.
were you really embarrassed when your mom did that?
I was more frustrated than I was embarrassed, but I also understood that that was like the price I had to pay for being so
Cool.
cluttered. No, just like I was just like, yeah, I'm paying the piper here. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't so much as embarrassed as I was like, yeah, I kind of deserve this.
Wow.
I earned
Which
that.
is like the one thing I don't love about the current generation is that they think they don't deserve that. They think that like everything that makes them not feel good is like abuse. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Sometimes you just got to take your licks. Like
Yeah,
if you're a
sure.
dumb dip who's not passing in any and you're failing and your mom shows up, your mommy comes to your high school and dumps your locker out, you earned that.
I mean, I was a terrible student, so
Do you think that they have high schoolers like have notebooks anymore? Because we just sat in, we like helped teach a college class, like one session of it.
Yeah.
And all the kids had laptops. And I was like, I wasn't ready for that.
Like, oh yeah, that's right.
right. I know.
So
I
weird.
don't see why they would. Why would you have a
I don't
notebook?
know. I'm actually really grateful that I retired just before the iPad kids started making it to middle school.
Mm.
I retired in 2012. So like those iPad kids, they were gonna like now you're like, what is happening to their cerebral cortex? Like their brains are developing so weirdly because of their like forced dopamine stimulation that they have at all times. Like kids aren't bored anymore.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like the creativity is starting to get lost. I mean, kids are still creative at points, but there's like a different kind of it. And it's like, I don't really know if that's a great idea.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what the screens does to somebody, but I mean, yeah, we're lucky to have been on the honestly like the straddle between a lot of analog and digital
Yeah.
life as we were growing up.
Yeah, like that Millennium Saddle.
Trying to like put somebody's number in my phone and they're like 28 or something. And they're like,
Oh, just touch me.
I know. And I'm just like, I can't do that. You know?
Yeah, I'm always just like, you see the white in my beard, right?
Yeah, just tell
Like,
me.
I'm
it.
not going to do that.
Yeah, Emily's got to put her reading glasses on.
Yeah.
She takes out her contacts book.
Explaining, yeah, takes out your little black book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do literal paper calendar, and I cannot do Google calendars, and I just like write down things, and I can't do it. Even my mom is better than me at this stuff.
Mom is good at it, yeah.
Explaining to a child that you used to like have to watch 6 minutes of commercials at a time.
I know, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Is like they'd be like, and what happened? And be like, and we got free TV. TV was free.
Yeah, no, it is funny though, because even I have like gone off of it so that when I'm watching sports, the commercial breaks, I'm like, when are they gonna be over? Like I'm freaking out, because I've gotten so used to fast forwarding commercials.
Yeah, I think we need to go. I think we need to go back to like right before social media and YouTube existed. Like I think that's kind of where
a sweet spot
be like that's like kind of a sweet spot of like sanity.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's like cool. Like yeah, I like having YouTube, but like I don't not having YouTube wasn't a problem for me.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
And like with streaming services too, I remember their whole thing was just like, all you got to do is pay us a couple bucks. We're putting an end to commercials. And then as soon as they like kind of really murdered cable, they're just like, here's your commercials.
Oh, I know, dude.
They're like, you're still paying us. You're paying us more than ever. Now here's your commercials.
Yeah. They're constantly threatening to be like, what if we like combine all the streaming services and you could flip around through them and then there's commercials during them, but you could watch and everybody's like, yeah, you're inventing cable again. That's cable.
You've this cable, but now we have to pay more for it.
Yeah.
So from the other side, the show that I worked on that we moved out to LA for was on Nickelodeon, and they replayed our episodes a few times. We got some residuals, and then they just sold them all to Netflix, and Nickelodeon made a ton of money, but guess who gets $0 in residuals forever? Me.
That's why strikes happen.
Yeah.
I always find that, it's such an interesting thing. And like, I also like, there's something about like streaming culture. When I say streaming culture, I don't just mean Netflix and stuff like that, but I also mean like Amazon Prime delivery and like DoorDash and stuff like that. There's like this weird entitlement that I find absolutely fascinating where I'm like, if we wanted a movie, we had to go to a store and pay money to take it home for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, and yet we survived this egregious thing. But like, and I always say this to people, and I don't know if I've mentioned it on the show before, but like the healthiest thing, both for body and mind, you could do is delete all delivery apps off your phone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because it was like, you'd see people and they're complaining, like, can you believe it costs this much to get McDonald's?
You're like,
it's like, well, you got it delivered to your house, man.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Jeff, you're like a sober guy. So I do have to say these apps can be very helpful
when
when you're on mushrooms with your partner in the desert.
Is that helping getting like a Big Mac brought to you?
It helped my commercial audition when I needed a Whopper.
Oh yeah,
you go.
You were at a bar and you got an audition and they were like, we need you to eat a Whopper and send us a video of you eating a Whopper within the next 90 minutes. And you and our friend Larry, you had been out all day.
Just finished burgers.
You had just finished burgers. You had to order 2 more, have them delivered.
That's the miracle of the modern age, But I do tend to agree, and again, it is because third-party apps, like destroy delivery services.
Yeah.
And it's like
a lot of ways. I mean, McDonald's should never be delivered in my estimate.
No, it should not be that easy to get 4,000 calories.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, it's not like, look, I like McDonald's, like eating at McDonald's is fine, but like you're supposed to eat McDonald's on the car on the way somewhere.
Yeah.
Silently.
It should be like a once a month max.
Oh yeah.
With your
thing that you have.
All your mistakes in life playing in your head.
Yeah.
When you're just sitting there.
Class, just like the air con. Yeah.
What's your McDonald's? What do you get if you go to McDonald's? What's your poison?
Just breakfast.
She's like breakfast, mostly breakfast.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were going, so our last apartment in LA was right next to a McDonald's. And so we did have a few, well, we had a few moments where we would get the McDonald's fries and then the In-N-Out burger and then get very high and eat them both.
We would separate.
We would separate.
One would get the burgers, one would get the fries.
A great way to not have to eat In-N-Out fries.
Right.
Yes.
And then our edible would kick in right as we were eating them.
And then also a few times we got the ice cream.
Oh, we got a McFlurry craving.
McFlurry.
Oh, the machine wasn't down.
It was not down. No.
So instead, it was just filled with bacteria.
You guys want the address?
Yeah, go to the Sherman Oaks McDonald's, and the ice cream is always working.
The one on Ventura.
Yeah, that probably means they're not cleaning the machine.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That was fine.
I do like a McDonald's breakfast. The sausage biscuit with egg is a supreme.
That's what I usually get, sausage and egg biscuit.
Yeah.
With a coffee and a hash brown.
I also love now, like, I'll get double cheeseburger, extra pickles, extra onions. I with those dehydrated, rehydrated onions.
Oh yeah.
And their pickles are so good.
The
So
pickle-
like, I'm not against the concept of McDonald's. I just think it should be way harder to get.
I do believe McDonald's is a go out and get it.
Yeah, you should like, if a McDonald's bag is delivered to you, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You have a problem.
I've done it, but I was in Orem, Utah, and I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, because what else are you gonna get? Crackers? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this got to fast food, but yeah, brains and screens and all that. I definitely do. Like, there are times when I'll just like go on like a screen fast.
Smart.
That's great.
And it really does bring your brain back to like peace, which I forgot, like peace. When was the last time you felt peaceful, right?
But what do you do when you're on your screen fast?
I read. I usually like clean. Like, I'm productive.
Yeah.
I'll try to exercise. I mean, not now, but times when I have a fully functioning body. But it's a lot of like getting caught, like not just getting caught up on reading, but reading something, going to the beach. I get so much more done and I miss nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. When you realize that, or even just like honestly, like watching a movie without picking your phone up every minute.
Right?
I know it's still a screen, but it's like there's a difference in how you're interacting with it.
Yeah, right. You're like, I want to watch Tombstone and remember it instead of just have it in the background of doom scrolling Instagram.
Yeah, and it's really depressing that Netflix does make a lot of shows that they are designed to be on in like a double screen situation.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah, I was off of Instagram for about 2.5 weeks where like I did nothing. I didn't go on. I didn't check messages. At one point in time, I went on and posted a thing that was just like, I know I cannot have a career if I'm not back here. So I'll be back. Bye.
Yeah.
Slept for another like week and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
But like in that time, I traveled, I got my car, drove somewhere. I holed up. I read books. I walked around. I interacted with people. Like, I just did my best to try and recalibrate what it meant to be a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that I'm back in this universe, this world where I have to have it, I'm like already falling back into those negative patterns where I just can't help it.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
I think it's the goal though to put the phone down for extended periods of time.
Put the phone down. But it's so hard, especially in our careers.
Yeah, absolutely.
One-liner madness, Emily. Do we have some that are coming up anytime soon that we can let people know about?
We do have some coming up soon. The next one is going to be July 25th in Pittsburgh at Spirit in Lawrenceville at 7 p.m. That's a Friday night. It is our third year in Pittsburgh. Love Pittsburgh. Love that venue. Love the Pittsburgh comedians. They have a very dark sense of humor. If you're like near Pittsburgh, go to that show. They're really good. Then August 2nd, for the very, very first time ever, I'm taking it to my favorite state of Wisconsin. We will be at the Annex in Madison on Saturday, August 2nd at 8 o'clock.
We have several Wisconsinites here, by the way.
Oh, you do? Amazing.
that are producers of the show. I've actually said some
Oh,
of
Oh,
the
awesome.
right.
things on
Yes. Yeah. You're
here,
like,
including Dre, my co-host of Nerd. He lives out in Appleton, and we had some Wausau.
Wausau Daily Herald. I like I have this really dumb thing of like I can know a lot of places, local newspapers.
Other newspapers, right?
Yeah.
So when's the Madison one again?
That's August 2nd, Saturday, August 2nd. And then I'm working on getting in Indianapolis for September, possibly a Chicago for September. Los Angeles is going to be Friday, September 19th at the Paramount in Boyle Heights at 8 p.m. And then Minnesota, Twin Cities will be part of the 10,000 Laughs Comedy Festival on Thursday, August 23rd at Turf Club. And then right now, either November 7th or November 8th, I'm trying to figure out which date, will be in New Orleans at Gasa Gasa.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. So we gotta do this now. There's 50 states in 52 weeks.
I know.
So like you could do like one, it should be like one, and then you could do like what, two in New York and two in California or something.
No.
Like that. Or two
Well, I could do two in California. I could do like SF. Well, I did San Diego and I did
do San Diego. I actually recommended somebody from San Diego that did quite well.
Yes, your friend did well. And
Were they booked before before I brought that up or
I can't remember. I think that they were, but I told her that you had recommended her.
Jeff's trying to get that commission.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she
You
was
told
like,
her that I recommended her.
Yeah. I was like, oh, my friend.
How was that response?
No, I was like, my friend Jeff said that you're really
What'd you do, Jeff?
Yeah, that you'd be really great for the show. And she was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then she did great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, just checking. I'll tell you guys after.
She had like a normal, modest response.
Okay. All right.
But follow One Liner Madness for all the dates.
Absolutely. ONELINERMADNESS on Instagram. Emily is Emily McWinter, EMILYMCWINTER on Instagram.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thank
Chris, how about you, bud? Where are you? We got tours coming up. We got signs. Where can we find you?
I will be trailing One Liner Madness like a little carnival wagon.
You'll be selling grilled cheeses out of your Winnebago in the back to support it.
I don't let him participate anymore unless sometimes he can judge. But
my cousin participates.
So yeah. So basically, I say he can only like get in the competition if he does a character. So
I don't do any. My cousin Vito Bombolino.
Yeah.
He participates, but I don't anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But
may see Vito Bombolino on some of these shows.
I also will be doing shows in the Midwest with Emily as she prepares for her album. So I will be opening for her and featuring for her during that. And then you can follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting dumb videos over there. So I'm happy to always be posting dumb stuff and retreads and all kinds of things. So yeah, follow me there, and that's where I'll keep you posted about all things Chrissy Cal.
That's right. And you can follow him at Real Chris Cal. That's RealChrisCal, in case you were wondering. Emily, do we have a date for the recording, or are you still like in the very prelim on that?
So I will know more next week, but it's probably going to be the LA one, which is September 19th.
The One Liner Madness is going to be your album recording as well?
Oh, the album recording. No. I don't have a date for that yet. I want to get the whole, I want to do a bunch in the Midwest and then come back here and maybe run it again here because we have a little community out here in the desert and we have a monthly comedy show. And then plan it and figure it out and do
Go back to the Midwest to record
get it really, really polished and feel really good about it before I even, which I probably should be doing this, like figuring out, like planning my recording while I'm doing this, but I don't know. I can only do so many things.
You do Wisconsin.
Maybe I will.
Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Maybe you will.
I don't have.
We know there's people that are listening now that will absolutely go.
And you got a good base of people out there as well.
Yeah, maybe somewhere cool like Cactus Club in Milwaukee or something.
Well, yeah. I will say this, like the Midwest seems to be where a lot of people choose to record their albums.
You know what's so funny, Jeff, is that you're not going to believe I've been thinking about what city I should do it in, and like it's yours. It's Boston.
Boston's pretty good.
Been thinking.
The audience is in Boston. Like, I'm always weirded out when people are like, I'm going to record my album. Because I'm always just like, I always feel like people love Midwestern audiences because they seem really willing to laugh.
That's how I feel about Boston.
I mean, yeah, I guess like so sometimes
in
people
Boston.
consider it like a challenge. Like you're challenging them to laugh. Like they're like folding their arms, being like, all right, what do you got?
Maybe it's because I've done the Women in Comedy, like there was this HBO Women in Comedy Festival, and I did it so many times.
Women in Comedy by name only, by the way.
Yeah. There's men on it, but I think the connections I made there, and so like I just ended up getting booked on like shows even outside of those festivals, and the One-Liner Madness we had in Boston. I just felt like the audiences were really like academic and like really open and really just intelligent, and but also like have a little bit of that drinking culture in them. So they're like, woo!
Little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit of that drinking culture in Boston?
They have a couple of drinks in Boston.
Been known.
We've been known to be a problem.
I can't speak speak against it because
Guilty.
Hey, well, the good news is you're both great. And I hope everybody listening has a wonderful, wonderful time following and listening to everything that you guys are doing.
Heck yeah.
You're great. Love
You're
you forever.
We
Follow
love
Emily, Chris, and One-Liner Madness. What was that? You were going to say something?
Oh, we love you, Jeff.
Stop.
Yes, Jeff is so great. Talk about Jeff.
Jeff is a cool friend.
Jeff is a cool friend. You look like that actor now that you have a beard.
No.
Here we go.
Who's the boyfriend from
A daily occurrence here.
The other two.
The boyfriend?
Yeah. Lance.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
From what?
The other two.
I don't know what that is, but that's great. Oh, that's the one about the siblings of the child.
Yeah.
That's great. You guys are great. Emily and Chris, thank you so much for being cool friends, being a cool couple, and doing cool shit. Love you both. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye,
everybody. Love you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. A little bit thicker, and I love that. This is a nice, longer episode. I did feel like I kind of owed it to you to give that. I know we missed a drop, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Now, do me a favor, and if you can, follow all of the amazing talents that you did here. Of course, David Igo, Joey Bragg, Phil Jimenez, Emily Winter, and Chris Calogero. All of these people do deserve your attention because they are all just so fantastic and delightful and wonderful. And of course, support them as much as you can. And for supporting me, thank you. If you want to do any more free stuff, by all means, you could check out Mint on Card, which is the second Friday of every month at Blast from the Past on beautiful Magnolia in Burbank, California. And on top of that, there are so many other things. You could follow the @Jeff Has Cool Cards Network on YouTube so you can watch me do these videos so we can start making money off this, and then I can start opening cooler stuff. Well, I mean, I'm still opening cool stuff, to be honest, but it'll cost me less if I'm making money doing it. And on top of that, of course, all the great stuff I do with Adam Todd Brown on the You Don't Even Like Podcasts Network. A lot of that is free. Of course, there are free episodes of Tom and Jeff Watch Batman out there into the ether with Gamefully Unemployed. So you're definitely going to want to check that out as well. And if you want to follow me on the Instagram, I'm at HeyThereJeffro2 and HeyThereJeffro everywhere else. But hey, thank you so much for joining me. It means the world that you were here. I appreciate it. I love you. And honestly, the world is going crazy right now. And just the fact that you take this time means everything to me. It means so much that you are here throughout all the process of this last month. One of the most important things that I keep reminding myself is thank God you people are here. You fulfill me. You keep me going. You are the fuel that fills my tank. And I'm not lying here. Love you so much. Have a wonderful and perfect day. And we'll see you on the next episode. And definitely check out all the other stuff, right? Do it. Come, stay. And if you're listening for free, come on over here. Early access, uncensored episodes, bonus content. Plus, on top of that, you can get shows early like Nerd with Dre Alvarez. All the great stuff. There's so much available on that Patreon. It's so many different price tiers where you can get stuff in the mail. You can produce shows. You can do everything. And again, patreon.com/JeffMay for that. Love you. Thanks again. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, our artwork is created by Justin T. Brown, who can be found at Artness by Justin Brown on Instagram, as well as artnessbyjustinbrown.com.
That dope music you heard is by Troy Nababon, available at Troy Nababon on Instagram, as well as at